Guys, welcome back to another Sunday live stream where we BS for a little while, take a look at you guys' tattoos, do the best to help you out and direct you where we can while still hanging out with the chat, having a good time. If you haven't already, if you're watching stream, oh wait, let me silence myself over here. If you're watching the stream, you're laying in bed like I do on YouTube, yada yada, get your phone, whatever, get in the chat, because everything cool in this stream happens when you are in the chat and watching. Okay, we're a small community, so to really get the full benefit of hanging out and understanding what's going on is to be in the chat with all the other trolls. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. You guys know I love you. But nonetheless, as always, me and Andy will look at your work today. You can send that into the link. Oh, hold on, let me get that up for you guys real quick here. Boom. Yeah, send it to the email scrolling at the bottom of the screen. It is a first come, first serve kind of a thing. So the sooner you guys get your work sent in, the better chance you have. We usually go for a couple hours looking at your work. And then after that, we'll do like a Q&A, a BS kind of a thing. We like to stay in contact with you guys and keep a good rapport and whatnot. So that's what we will more than likely do. Let's see. What else do I have? Again, don't get butthurt about work. If we say something about your work, keep in mind, myself included, Andy included, we're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Might say some stuff about your work that we very well do ourselves. Hey, this line isn't great, yada yada. There's plenty of my own that aren't. All right, but we're here just to help guide you in the right direction. There's people in the chat who have great experience as well, who are where you are right now, who are super ready to help you. They might give you a hard time for the first couple of moments, but then they'll come around. Believe me, the nice people. Anyhow, excuse me. I had a fantastic Sunday. Church service was great. Hung out with some family for a little while, and now we're here. So, if you don't already know, Andy put it out on our last stream that if we get 100 likes, which don't worry about the like button tonight, it's not a big deal. But if we do get 100 likes, I will show you. Apparently, take off my hat. Apparently, that's a thing people would like to see. I've been working tremendously hard at growing out as much hair on the top of my head as you can. As you see, there's some poking out right there. So anyhow, there we go. But now with that all out of the way, guys, get your work in. Give the stream a like if you want. Hey, what's going on, Tony? You're not late. I'm going to go up into the chat. I'm going to say hi to you guys because that's how this goes. And then we'll jump in. That gives us time for you guys to send your work in. And for Andy to jump on the stream, I did send the link to him. Like I said, I was running a little bit behind. Oh, there he is. Dave getting ready for come over. Okay, so Andy is on deck. He'll be in here just shortly, guys. What's going on, Smoke? Good afternoon. Having a great weekend. Just came in here to like the stream and say hi and be back in a few. All right, my buddy. We'll see you. Unknown morning from unknown. Good morning over there where you're at. It's the evening here. Danik says, what's up, Dave, Andy, Smoke? I'm at work right now. Oh, okay. All right. To the employers. Yeah, you better watch your people here. Hope you have a good stream. I will try to be on once in a while and say dumb comments when I'm not too busy working. Yeah, let's keep your job. You got to keep the, the family operation going. So we need that income in your life. But we appreciate the support, man. Okay, next. Damn, we're at 25 likes. We usually don't get a lot of likes here because it's usually our same crew. You guys really must want to see, I guess, my hair, right? It's all right here, guys. It's all right here. You've seen it all, right? All right. I'm in the chat and still Smoke is lost. Ethan says, hello, Dave and Andy. Hope y'all are having a good weekend. I am. I really am. Been super busy tattooing my butt off. I will probably post my piece from just the other day. I try to at least, find my favorite piece of the week and post something once a week. So I'll be throwing that up probably in the middle of this chat. So if you're not already, go follow me here, Dave Inks 88, and then on Facebook, Death Punch Inc. Yeah, let's talk about that thumbnail photo, okay? Yeah. All right. So I don't really know what to say about this, to be quite honest. Let me move some screens around here and get this pulled up. This is some special. So I heard somebody in the chat was saying that this guy up here in the upper left-hand corner is me without a beard. And I would like to, I have more hair than that, guys. There's more hair than that. I do wear glasses. I'm starting to see the similarities. So I'm bailing on that one. Danik says the top middle is Rosie O'Donnell. Absolutely. I absolutely see that. Yep. That is her. Good eye. Good eye. Somebody said this. I believe somebody said this might be Barack Obama as a baby. That's possible. You know what I mean? That's possible. I feel like I'm friends with this guy in the upper right hand corner. I think everybody has a friend that roughly reminds you of this guy. I don't know why. All right, let's go. Let's see what's going on. Are you later? Let's see what else we got here. Ethan, what is up? Just scroll to the chat, guys. If you're not in the chat and you're watching, get in the chat. The guys, they don't bite that hard over here. They're pretty cool. Danik seems to think if we get 50 likes, that Andy will show Dave in the Army. Oh, first off, I was never in the Army, but I get what you're saying. It was the Marine Corps. We're pretty sensitive about those things. Taking his shower with the boys. I can honestly say I don't recall said shower with the boys, but if Andy's got something that I don't know about, then we might want to question what Andy's been up to. But hey, we'll find out when he gets here. Let's see. Again, guys, we are going to be checking out your work. I like to give about 10 minutes here in the beginning to get your work sent in. Chat with the chat, if that makes sense. And also get your work sent in now. People were asking, can they send their work in? Once you see the notification, sometimes that can go out early. If you see that notification, go ahead, send your work in, okay? It's first come, first serve basis. So the sooner you get that stuff in, the better. I want to reward the people who are here, right? That just makes sense. So if you're early, you're probably going to get your work checked out. And believe me, we're just two people with two opinions. So if you miss out on that, it's okay. It's not like our opinions hold a ton of weight, right? They're just opinions. Hey, Tony, thanks for being here, man. No such thing as being late. You're here. What's going on, Bradley? I think we established last week that you might be the youngest. You know what I mean? I didn't realize we had what is the word I'm looking for? Geriatric chat. Everybody was like 50s and 40s. I was like, no crap. Right on. Which is my people, though. They've lived a little bit of life. They know what stupid looks like. Mike from Georgia. What's going on, Mike? Mark again. Please, Dave, send link to get your merchandise. You know, I got rid of the merchandise link because I'm not bright enough to figure. I paid for a website so I could host some hoodies and shirts that I really liked. But for some reason, I couldn't figure it out. I'm just not bright enough. So I got rid of it because I was paying monthly for this thing and it wasn't working out. So to be continued. Hi, Dave. Just sent you some emails, critiques. Yeah, you should get, if you send it in like now and, any time here in the next like 20, 30 minutes should be good. I see Andy. Get Andy in here in just a minute. All right. We should talk about upcoming rectal exams since the average age is 45. You're right. That would probably be a responsible thing to do. We might look into that. Yes, good. You got your work sent in. Nothing this week, Jason. No problem, man. I think we've gotten to everybody, at least roughly. Okay, let's bring Andy in here so he can tell us what made him decide to make this tattoo, and who these people are. Was it maybe it's Andy? Was this your family here, Andy?
No, it's I can't believe you always troll.
Look, Andy, I find your work no matter where you post it, okay?
That's it. I mean, look, you can't tell me that top left-hand corner is actually the Rock with a pair of glasses on.
The Rock with a pair of glasses.
You know what I mean? Bottom right-hand corner is supposed to be Wonder Woman.
Is it? Yeah. We're wondering what woman this is. That is it. Because we got Rosie.
I've got to say, bottom left-hand corner looks like a. Well, that's just a portrait of Barack Obama when he was younger.
That's what. Yeah, he's even got like the suit on him. He's ready to go, man.
Yeah. And the other two were just the person's family members. They just wanted him in with a couple of famous people, and that's all it was.
But I've said it before, Andy. At what point along the way of this, hey, I want these 5 faces. I think this is on a woman's arm. I'm starting to think this is on an arm. It's a bigger person, okay. But at what point do you go, this ain't working out? You can clearly look down and go, And I'm sure the artist is, pooping themselves going, don't worry, I got this. It's all going to come together in there. Once I add the white to this, it's really going to pop, and I see the white. Right here. Right here.
You know what I mean?
What,
teeth and
we don't want to necessarily make fun of this, but I think you have to a little bit so that people go, I don't want to do that. I don't want to make those mistakes. Okay to make mistakes. I do, but we don't want to go that far. We shouldn't do things we don't know how to do.
yeah.
Is that true? Bottom left, that's Danik when he was I'm sorry. Bottom left is Little Wayne when he was a baby, according to Danik.
Oh, right. I must use wrong photo.
Oh, you're just looking. Jeremy says you're just clearly looking at the eyelashes on all of them and just completely angry at the lack thereof, huh?
You know what I mean, Jeremy? I just had to submit something that you could take from this. Look, this is how you do eyelashes, Jeremy.
Yes, Jeremy. Get a good look here. You see these? You see them? Yeah, really, really getting the depth in this one. So we'll keep this photo up. How you been, Andy? I'm gonna double check the stream. Oh, I'm still coming across a little glitchy, but I guess it's better than normal.
No, you're fine. You've been fine.
Okay, that's good.
And it's.
I might have to kick everybody off the internet. Yeah. Okay.
Nope, looking good. Looking good.
Good. Let us know in the chat if on your end if things get glitchy. I can make some slight modifications to help that out if need be, but no less. Yeah. Okay. Well, again, guys, if you're out there during the week and you come across a image that you think needs to be the thumbnail photo for the next live stream, send it my way. You can send it to the email scrolling at the bottom of the screen, and you can put on it like thumbnail pic, right? And that I'll look at those. I don't look at anything else unless we're on the live stream. So if you email me after the live stream, I won't even open them because I won't be replying to them. So I don't want to give you any false hope or anything like that. But if you title it like thumbnail pic, I might open it and see if you got something that you want to submit for the thumbnail photo. All right. How's that machine working out for you real quick, Andy?
The machine is brilliant. What I will say, I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh, good.
Boom. Machine, brilliant. Honestly, love it. No qualms whatsoever. Packs like a beast. No problem. What I will say is, like I did explain to you, had a couple of little issues with the order, e.g. everything come fine, but the accessory pack that come with it, the 4.5mm cam and the 5mm cam, had the wrong size plunger on them. It was way too short. Now, what I will say, oh my God, Ambitions after sales, yes, they get in touch with you quick, but trying to get stuff sorted out, it's like pulling teeth.
Oh.
Honestly, it is. It's not the best. Yeah, they do come back. They come back with all this, that, and other, but actually trying to get anything sorted is like pulling teeth. But by next week's live, whether it's mine or yours, I should have an update. Should have a better update. Supposed to be getting sorted within the next couple of days, so I should have an update. What I will say though, one of the lads that's in your chat on your community, Chris.
Chris.
I can't remember his. I don't know how to pronounce his surname. So if he was watching this, he comes on later and watches it. I think is it Sajik or whatever it is. Reached out. We've been talking, and he had a spare 4.5 and a spare 5mm cam because he has two of these machines, and he's offered to send them to me.
Oh, that's nice.
So
that's nice.
I really do appreciate that. That's just cut a lot of time down. I mean, don't get me wrong; it hasn't stopped me using the machine and changing it out because the plungers you can take out. You can take out a one cam and move to another. It's not as if they're fixed.
Right.
It come with a 4mm, changed to the 4.5. So I just took the plunger out. Easy enough for me to set up. So I just took the plunger out, moved it over, put the 4.5 in, and I've been rocking 4.5 since. That hits really well. It does it really well. There's a 4.5.
That's cool, and I think it's really cool that people in our community here from the live stream helping you out, you know what I'm saying?
Gentlemen,
Super cool.
Jeremy, Fold Pro, Andy. No, Jeremy, Fold Pro, waste of money, waste of space. Honestly, it's so soft hitting, even on 4.2. No, the machine I got and I tried out is an Ambition Torqued. That's right, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, yeah.
It was the Ambition Torqued. You get a 4.5 and a 5mm interchangeable cams. It's wireless, direct drive, and it's a brushless motor. So,
yep. No work.
It's
no work.
It's been a good machine.
No worries. Good. And time will tell. And I did order those batteries, and I'm sure they're gonna take a little while to get here, but no less. Looking forward to that. Gonna have a video probably in the next week or so, checking out the Mass Pro needles. Been using those for the past few emails. Oh, buddy, it's gonna be one of those nights. For the past few tattoos for the past week or so now, and so far I'm really liking them. I still have my top favorites, but for the money and just for like regular day-to-day use, they are definitely surpassing the CNC police cartridges as my kind of like go-to. Right, I have specific needles I like for like really smooth black and gray, but these are pretty dang close to that too. So, and for the money, it's just like almost untouchable. Okay, I guess with that, we could jump over and start taking a look at some people's works, shall we, Andy?
Yeah.
Let me check to see how our
my face looks big in that screen.
Yeah, mine's still a little pixely. I don't know. Maybe I need to push the camera further away. Maybe it's too close. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe I think maybe
my webcam took a shit on me yesterday, so I had to scramble and order another one.
Looks good. I think the quality's looking good, man.
Like I say so quickly, it come today, so I hastily put it all together and plugged it into the computer and hope for the best.
Oh, that's cool. Well, so far I think the quality is looking good, man.
I've been. I'll tell you what though, been surfing around. You know, we were messing around with software for getting people in and out.
Yeah.
And to be honest, you're about right, Dave, what app that you're using.
Right. I know.
And everything. I've just got it myself.
Yeah, it's worth it, man. I mean, for what you can do and yeah. And of course sometimes it's stupid. Sometimes it glitches out, but I think I got some of my internet working halfway decent, so we don't look like complete potatoes tonight.
So I think
it's great quality stream on my 65-inch screen, right on smoke. All right, good to hear that. I'm gonna grab a drink right over here.
Yeah, I mean, and I will be like I say, hopefully anyway, Dave. At some point this week, what I want to do is probably over on mine is try work it other way. Just a quick little impromptu. If you've got a bit of spare time, want to try that app out. Try that app out and pull it in my direction. I just want to see whether it'll actually run via my laptop or my laptop's going to shit a brick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Try to work it out.
I think that would work good. Also, hey, if you guys are watching right now, occasionally, if you want to do something like this, it might not be, if you want to do like a Q&A for now, we'll be hosting one of those on Andy's channel here in the nearest future, which is what pretty much what me and Andy are talking about right now.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing because you're not going to know unless you know. So I'm going to tell you about it now, and then we're going to jump into looking at your tattoos. But that is, Andy, you want to tell them what your YouTube channel is?
It is. I think it's under my name, isn't it? Is it the Tattoo Studio?
Yes. If you want to leave put something in the chat right now.
It's actually as my name. I'm actually in as the Tattoo Studio tonight.
Right. So all you got to do is
that's the channel.
Hit enter.
Yeah, I'm actually in as the Tattoo Studio tonight, so that's the channel.
Can you leave something in the chat real quick? So it's at the bottom of the chat. Just say, just literally say hey, and then people will know. Oh, you can look at it.
I would do if my fingers were working there for 1 minute.
Very well. And I'll eventually get us a little tab up here that shows your channel there. So anyhow, as Andy's typing that in, once you see that go in the chat right there, it will be his name. It's the _tattoos. _tattoo_studio. And if you put that into YouTube exactly like that, you'll find Andy's there it is, the tattoo studio. But you gotta put the little underscores under it. The underscore
Yeah.
tattoo tattoo studio. At least I had to do that in order to find the channel.
All right.
So if you go and subscribe there, guys, that way when we go live, there's people there ready to go. Excuse me. So we'll try to do like a Q&A over there on Andy's channel and
Yeah.
have a blast over there with our crew.
Yeah. I mean, just quick one. Tony's just jumped in. I want to upgrade my machine. Currently have a so long pen machine recently as a good beginner, but at this stage where I'm itching to get another machine, only have a budget of £200. Tony, look, I haven't reviewed it. We've talked about, I've just bought the Ambition Torch. Comes with a 4mm, 4.5 and a 5mm cam. It's wireless. I bought the pen with one battery and a spare battery. And I think it all come in at about less than about $160, didn't it, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, right at this minute in time, if you go buy that combo, they've got something like an $18 discount code as well. So you can get another $18 off it.
Yep. I ordered 2 of their wireless batteries. They're the 2400 milliamp batteries, and they were $60 a piece. So it's like $120 mailed here. It takes like 2 to 3 weeks. But for that kind of money right now, I mean, if they perform well, and Andy's been using the smaller ones, and he said they've been performing fantastically for him. So definitely good, somewhat inexpensive backup power supplies. I mean,
Yeah.
and I will review them, I will check them out, and I'll give my official 2 cents on them.
Like I say, I got the 1950 milliamp hour batteries and 5-6 hours, and I'm at about half charge, you know what I mean, left on them. So last that, even if you got another hour, 2 hours out of back end at battery, you're going to get 7 or 8 hours out of a battery.
Hey, can you type in the chat again, Andy, the name of the machine? Because I think people are trying to get it, and it's not the Soldier. If you just, that way we can just tell people, hey, it's in the chat if you want to know, and go look it up and whatnot. I'm gonna pull up real quick here. Oh, we're gonna have to put us in smaller. I'm gonna put us in smaller boxes here. Let's do that. There we go. Okay, dokie. So, hey guys, the first person who sent the email in is unknown, so we're gonna start here. It says, hey guys, I haven't submitted in a while, but I hope everyone has been well. Here's a few I've done, and the boat is a little scratchy, but I did it on myself. All right, so let's take a look-see here. All right. Alrighty then. Interesting. Yeah, okay. It's just like there's some nice things going on here, in my opinion, Andy. Some decent stuff. You see stuff like this and you think, ooh, man, just a little bit more, and it could have really taken it to another level, in my opinion. But I really like the gun. The gun's probably my favorite portion. The gun and the money. Hands are hard to do. I think they got it. The hand don't look like it's jacked up. Doesn't look like what the heck is going on. I just feel like maybe the shading could have been smoothed out a little bit more. It feels has a little bit of that patchy-ish feel. The money's not bad either. It seems pretty straightforward. I'm assuming this is some other denomination of money that I'm not familiar with. But really, I think the eyes and whatnot are a little of a letdown, in my opinion. I feel like we could have punched that nose, the getting the shadowing there, a little bit more depth in there, if you will, made it really feel like this mask was on her face a little bit more. It feels a little bit flat, even here where we know her nose is pushed through that sort of mask or whatever, if you will. And the eyes could have had a little bit more of ice, just being this solid blue, a little bit more going on in there. But yeah. Andy, what do you think? I don't want to get too far going.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that I agree with, that a little bit more could have done with this, within, as in, shall I say, shading wise, and the use of tones throughout the shading, which to give the hands a little bit more depth, through what's covering, like the mask, the bandana. But you still do get a little bit of a feel that there is a nose under there, you know, bulging it out.
Right.
I do think with yourselves that the gun and the money are the best on this. Some of the line work seems to be some of the line work seems to be half decent.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Where I seem to have more faults and problems is with the hair and the eyes. So much more could have been done with the hair just to give it that bit more depth. But then again, that goes to all the tattoo. And the eyes are just missing features, you know, a bit more depth and a bit more features. That are, for want of a better word, they're a little bit more of a cartoonist type eye. Very, very, you know, basic, you know, illustrative type of eye. What I will say, I mean, the hand's not completely jacked.
No, no, it's pretty decent.
It isn't, you know.
Sorry.
Because I mean, and the money, the actual roll of money actually looks like a roll.
Yes, it does. Right, it feels very.
It don't look like this roll of money's been sat on and squashed and whatever. But I'll be interested to see what other pieces.
Yeah, that's
under his belt.
All right, here we go. Oh, all right. Well, I don't know, Andy. From here, I think the lineage in this, you know, just off jump, just from looking at it, like, there's spots on here that you can't hide. You know what I mean? Like these lines in this old. This is as far as I can zoom in, by the way. They all seem pretty solid. There might be a couple spots. It might just be the photo where it looks like you can probably get a little bit more saturation, but this looks pretty good to me, Andy.
Yeah, I mean, this area of skin is notoriously hard to tattoo.
Yeah.
It's super soft. It'll blow out. It will blow out for fun because it's just notoriously, absolutely notoriously soft. Put your needle in, one slight movement, boom, it's out. But for all intents and purposes, yeah, maybe a couple of little areas could have been, you could have maybe just bust out a 3-liner and just shaped them. But I would say that from the image that I can see on this, that it's not a bad tattoo, and I'm sure that the person that's got this is happy with it. So long as it heals like the picture.
Right, exactly.
You know,
I think that's key.
And none of it comes out, so long as it heals like the picture. But hey, you've done your job. You've got it in. It looks like this. For all intents and purposes, it's 99% saturated. If he's going to, the hardest part then, like I tell my clients, I've done the easy bit. It's now the hardest part is for you to go away, look after it, and keep all your ink in your skin and make sure it heals right. Because this stuff ain't, because believe it or not, this stuff ain't permanent until your skin's healed back over it.
True story. Oh, wow. You know, again, from here, this looks pretty dang crisp. There's a few spots here and there, but it can be tricky. I mean, because this person's running lines around a curve, you know. It can be a little bit difficult. I'm hoping they're using like a round shader because that would have definitely made this job a little bit easier. Again, you see a few spots here and then. When you're this far away, little imperfections are harder to pick up on. So I guess that being said, I will be gentle then because I'd have to zoom in and really check it all out. So from here, which is an entire leg distance away, hey, it looks good. I got no problems with that. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it, how they're going to shade it. I hope they don't just pack it all in black. I don't even know what it says. What does it say?
Is it redemption?
Yeah, okay. Redemption, yeah. Yep.
I mean, it's a big ass piece all the way down somebody's leg, is that?
It is, man.
It is a big ass piece. And I hope it will be interesting to see how this is finished off. They are shaded wise, what's done in between. I'm assuming it's probably going to start off packed out from black and faded up, you know, to left open line work. That's just my assumption.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to be fair, I mean, it's not looking too bad. The line works don't look too bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's jump to the next one then. Here, Andy, what do you think of that one? I'm gonna try to multitask here.
Well, it is what it is. Well, I'll start on outside. Birds. Birds look like birds. You got a nice little bit. You haven't just blocked them in. You've got a little bit of feather work into wings. and seen this design done numerous times, and usually people just smash the birds out completely black, and it is what it is. It's a simple tattoo. The love art in the middle is not so bad, red with a bit of white around it. And when I'm looking here, the font that's being used for like the dad and the mom, if you look at the D, it's not, I don't know, it just doesn't quite sit right, and the A doesn't follow around the thickness on the band. It comes around.
I see what you're saying.
The D, because the D's got the small, it's a small D. This bit just seems to have too much of a wider line on it, where it could have been gone from wide to thin. I think could have chose a better font.
Yeah, that's true.
To work with this.
Sometimes can play the biggest role, man.
Yeah, but other than that,
right, John?
It's not so bad.
Hey guys, again, when you send these in, we're looking for about 3. All right, we're kind of trying to book through these a little bit because I see you sending a lot, but let's keep it. I need to start saying that at the beginning of the live stream. Try to keep to 3 or less. We can get a gist of your work by 3. Sometimes we do 1 and it's like, wow, it's fantastic. You look at a couple others and go, okay, I can see, this things must have been working out perfect for this one, but we still have work to do. So 3 is a good number, guys. We can really tell what's going on. Yeah, this one's pretty cool. I don't dislike it all that much. There's lines in some parts, and it could be somewhat stylized, I guess, but some real solid lines around some stuff that would have been better off to maybe just let the shading speak for itself. But I don't know. This is kind of one of those, like, it's not bad, it's not great, it's just kind of in the middle there. I wish there was a little bit more going on, a little bit more shading, let's say, in the face. Just a little more details, I guess. But again, some of this stuff is so subjective. So, what do you think? I can't get any further in on it, so it's kind of hard to really see.
It's really hard because it's quite stylized, is this, and you can get away with on all of this. You don't need a crisp line. None of it needs a crisp line because it's a sketched-in type of image. Anime meets cartoon meets illustrative. And everything. I'm pretty much with you on a couple of areas. Could have just had a little bit more punched in black and a little bit more shading done just to give maybe the robe a little bit, as if it gives it just a little bit more flow. Right. I think in a couple of areas it would have benefited, especially in the top where it seems like you've gone from a light grey outwards, whereas just even just a tiny little bit of black in the corners of some of them folds would have just pushed it that bit further. And same at bottom at row when it comes into a V down here. And that it's could have probably just in corner of that crease just had a little bit, black, just whipped up just to give it that little bit more.
Yeah. Apparently people have seen, Danik is saying he's seen this image a bunch of times, which just makes it nice when you know what the reference is supposed to look like. And when you don't know, like myself, I don't know. I could say, but then if we really look at a lot of these lines through here that are coming across, they're lacking quite a bit. They feel like there's a lot of hesitation in them. There are some that are hit pretty decently, but for the most part, a lot of these lines, still work in progress. Same here. You kind of, like he said, the boat was a bit scratchy. Now you're doing this on yourself, so that is tricky. I do remember the skull here in the middle when you sent that a while back, actually. Okay, I can zoom in a little bit more now, but yeah, we're still trying to get a bit more of a consistency with the lines. You can see where we're in, we're out, and of course you're going across different parts of the body. It's going to happen. This is on your side where I'm sure it's hard to stretch, but hey, you send it in. We got to point out the things that are, and mainly that's your lining. Okay, it's like they're straight, but they're spotty, which means your needle depth is inconsistent. Your hand speed is not quite thorough throughout the line. These are the things that we're constantly striving and working towards. So that'd be something I would keep an eye out.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is he's tattooing himself, and he's going to be tattooing this. He's going to be tattooing this upside down as well, and trying to run, trying to stretch. sometimes tattooing yourself in places like this is it's not going to help you progress.
Right.
Yes, you might want to tattoo. It's not going to help you progress because you can't get. If you was working on somebody else, you could get in and stretch and do everything properly. Whereas on this, you can't. So you're having to try work your way and figure it all out while still maybe not understanding the full ins and outs and depths of lining and consistency. Plus, you like this, you're trying to get up here, so you've got one arm stretched. How the hell are you going to get round here to stretch your skin and do it? So you're going to have a mega hard time. Your skin's not going to be stretched properly. So like this is when your lines are going to look all different. They're going to look spotty. They're going to be in. They're going to be out. So sometimes you might think it's a good idea tattooing yourself, but it can be a little bit detrimental, especially when you come to places like that. Tops of legs, anywhere sides of legs or whatever you can get. And that, fair enough. But other than that, you're going to start to struggle.
I was muted. All right, good to go. Sorry, I'm over here trying to do a few different things at once. Sorry. All right, here we go. We got some fake skin going on, which, as you can see, everything's a bit better on the fake skin, a little bit better, because rightfully so, it's fake skin. It doesn't really move as much. You can stab it and it doesn't blow out. All those fun things. So yeah, I definitely like this one a lot more. The lips look pretty good. I like they feel curved and luscious, if you will. I feel like the nose, and I think maybe it is because of these style noses where they're like that, whatever you want to call this kind of thing, where they have the paint on their nose. I don't know what this is, just Chicano or whatnot. Forgive my ignorance. But the nose looks very tight because of the way it's shadowed, and that could be per the reference, but it just feels like that nose comes like right down and right out like an hourglass. Which isn't quite realistic in my opinion.
Like you say, I mean, it's easier working on fake skin. It don't stab, it don't blow out, or anything. So, as I say, it's but it seems to be better. Just looking at this from the off, just need to work on the shading a little bit more. Try smooth it out, blend it out. This, that, and other. And but just keep working at it, keep practicing. Just grab a piece of fake skin, and don't have to really draw anything. Just figure out how a mag works. Just do some random basic, shading and that, and you're going to be fine, aren't you?
That's right.
You just need to figure out. You just need to figure out what works and how it works and what effects you get off each needle combination. And instead of just shading all in one direction, cross shade, which will help you pack in and smooth out your shading and your gradation.
Right, Chow. All right, that was a long one, guys. Let's hopefully. All right, Josh, there's nothing here, man. I got no attachments. So what's going on? Took us. All right. Next up is, hey, it's Mike. Took your advice, did a color piece, but added more black. What you think? All right, let's take a look, man. All right. Let's get in here and take a look at what we got. Just kind of soaking it in here. All right. I think it looks cool, just, as a whole. Like, as a whole, this piece looks cool. There's enough dark and light. There's enough contrast and whatnot. And obviously, fake skin is a bit of a pain at times. But I feel like the colors could use a little bit more saturation. Like, if this were in human skin over time, it might lighten up a bit. You can see that up through here. It's not like you did a bad job or anything. It just need a little bit more saturation of those colors. But I mean, still, I like the colorize. I personally like to play on colors here. A bit more up in here. These pinks, not too bad. I like that the black comes all the way up to the lines, if you will. The lines look pretty decent overall. You know, there's some spots here, but these areas is where I would focus in a little bit more on right here and really making sure that's solid black right up to that line. And then if you can whip it out just a little smoother, maybe that would help out a bit more. And again, this foot would probably need some. I imagine you're trying to separate it from the background there, but this foot might need a little bit of a shadow on it in and of itself. If this is dark, I imagine this would be getting a shadow from behind it. Maybe the same with this foot down here. And the lining, the more I'm looking at it, you could probably slow it down a little bit more. But again, it's on fake skin. Overall, I see some big improvements here. But I'll pass it off to you, Andy.
Yeah,
Tell me where you want me to move it around to.
No, I mean it's fine there. Like I said, I mean you pretty much hit it with lining a couple of places. I mean lining's coming along. There's just got to figure out that last little bit. And a couple of places I noticed as you were going through where it's stopped and then it's come back into line. It just ever so slightly missed it, and you've just ended up with a slightly thicker line. They're just things. It's fine while you're on fake skin. And there is ways that if you did do it on real skin that you can tweak them so that it looks right, even though it's not. But that's it, especially with fake skin, when you're packing colour, I like your use of the, especially on the snake's belly, you've got a bit of brown, bit of lighter brown, but you just need to work on that transition and blending across your colours and packing your colours, like the purple that's in the tongue. Yeah, that'd have been nice if you do use the purple and also had a little bit of a pink in there for your highlights instead of trying to come down the tongue and left some white in, maybe use a pink. But if you're going to packing colour is slow. In really slowly, slow circles, shovel movement, whichever you want to do. It's time consuming. It's boring.
Yeah, no doubt. Very true.
But you've got to do. Same with the pinks in the mouth, round the nose or anything. Now, I don't know whether you've put your grey in first in a couple of areas and then whipped your pink over top of it. But just be careful because it makes, in areas, it's making that pink look muddy.
Yeah.
Instead of it being a nice bright pink, it's making it look muddy. And other than that, I'm like you, where the black's in and he's put the black in, could have just gone a little bit further up to the line and just punched it absolutely solid across that line, which then would basically taken that line away out of the equation, and then just try blending it out a bit, try getting your blends a bit smoother.
Yeah.
For me, that's the main things with this.
Yep, big improvement though. Nice job. Yeah. I like that. I definitely like that you putting black in there. That gives that depth. Now it's just a matter of we're just constantly refining what we do. So it's that constant like, boom, I made an improvement. I like it. I see the goodness. What can I do to improve it a little bit more? Then we try things. They work or they don't work. We back off or we pursue more. That's just the way it goes. You know, sometimes we waste time. Sometimes we don't. Yeah, I'm doing it today. All right. Trucker Jesus delivering another practice skin. This time I tried using triple black and black with more darks, but for some reason the stencil was too saturated, so it still shows on some parts of the tattoo, even on the triple black spots. 13 days working or 13-day working. Yeah, baby oil, right, Andy?
Yeah, baby oil.
Baby oil
doesn't remove baby oil. Won't take the. It does fade it, but it doesn't seem to take a right lot of that last little bit of stencil off it. You know, if your stencil's been put on your fake skin long enough and left there, it just still doesn't seem to get that last little bit off. But baby oil does get rid of most of everything.
Right. Well, let's take a look at the reference. And I wish I could have both these up at the exact same time, but unfortunately I can't. It's a good practice piece. You know, there's very smooth stuff going on it. Oh, right. Yeah, I see this was definitely a little bit of a challenge here. I think this is
day 13. Unfortunately, at day 13, my friend, you've bit off more than you can chew with this one.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Because in comparison to the other works that you've done, unfortunately, this one does look like a day 13 tattoo to me.
Yeah, yeah, it looks closer to where they're at.
Yeah, because you've not really got, for me, you've not really got any solid saturated colour in there. And we can see now with the shading, the graininess and not smooth, and you've heavily relied on a liner or a round shader down either sides of the nose, the lips, the really dark areas where you could have used the corner of a mag to go around it, and they wouldn't have looked. You'd have got the same effect, but they wouldn't have looked as stark. You know, very, very, shall we say, illustrative,
right?
Stark image that you've got. But day 13, you're not doing bad. I mean, out of what we've seen of you, this is the one that's missed the mark the most in my eyes. Because, but bearing in mind that this person is still only on day 13. So he ain't done too bad at day 13. But of everything that we've seen, unfortunately, this does scream day 13 tattoo.
And some things that I think that would help this tattoo out, right? So it's there. Say that you were doing this on skin. Obviously, you're not doing that because you're still very much trying to learn stuff. But let's look at some stuff here. So I think we kind of missed the tones. We got the wrong tones here, in my opinion. But usually, what I'll save it is if we're looking up in here, you have what looks to be like a gray. I see you went darker here per the reference, right? So let's take a look here. See, this is black. This is solid right here, as dark as everything else would be. If we're looking at this, we miss that. That would have helped a little bit. We can't undo what's there, but we could put depth in there, right? So if you would have brought this black out and really filled this with true black, the same black you use around all these dark spots, that would help. So we really want to go back and forth and find those blacks. This black comes off the eye and is solid black back here. So if we go over to here, we see we're missing that as well. This needs to be solid black, not whatever kind of dark where it is we're using. And that kind of just follows throughout, right? We kind of went too dark. We used a black up in here when it wasn't a black, right? It's not a black. You put a black here, but it's not a black here. It's more of a darker shade, but not a black. So biggest problem here is the tones are just off. This right and through here should have been a much lighter tone than what you have here. It looks like you used the same tone and maybe just tried to put less of it in this case, and whatever you're doing here, it's just not working out. You drop to a lighter tone, if you will. This light portion here doesn't feel like a light portion because it's not. It's more of a shaded in spot. So we just really want to hone in and focus on those shades so that you get them matched up a bit better. It's going to help you out a lot more. All right. So we will move on to the next one. This is from Josh. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Took in some feedback, and I order me some real skins. Should be here soon. And I also slowed the hell down. But although, it's not perfect, I personally feel improvement from the unicorn cabbage rose. I used a CNC Police Standard 7-round liner, and shader was a 9-round shader. And I like what you said here, man, because this can be true. All right, we might look at this piece and might say, oh, you could do this. Oh, you could do that. But it's important that you go, I know it's not perfect. I got to improve. But, hey, but although it's not perfect, I personally feel improvement. That's important, right? So that's what you stand on, even when people are saying, hey, this is not the greatest, yada, yada. You see the improvement. You know there's still more. That's the humility in you to say, I know I got more to do, but this is where I'm at. I see it. Stay humble. It's good, man. Let's take a look, though. Okay. Yeah, from here, it's looking all right, right? This is crap fake skin. Good to hear you got some good stuff coming. But I will say the shading inside the handle here blends very uniformly to the shading outside of it. So without this little bit of an extra darkness you have here, it gets a little bit lost. I would have left a little bit more of an opening down the middle of this handle to give a little bit more curvature to it. Obviously, it goes without saying your shading's a bit choppy, so definitely going to want to work on that a bit more. Same up here. I like that you got some direction going in with your shading, right? At least we're not just going like this in the one angle across it, kind of like we have here. You did a little bit of that here. move with the flow of it. So we have some flowage going on in here. Definitely would have come back in here with a dark and just put a real black right here at the bottom. All right, so we're going to want to work a little bit more on shading, and you're getting it, but not necessarily. You got technique shading, and then you have like just in general shading, right? Getting the right depth in there, getting the right darknesses to light. So as you're working on tattooing and building that skill level, also be working on like shading in the background, like on paper, digitally, whatever. Really trying to get your mind wrapped around these things. Looking at this fake skin, it looks like if this were on human skin, it kind of looks like this would have been pretty tore up through here. The black appears to be okay for the most part. Andy, before I keep blabbing, I'll let you. I don't want to say it. Everything I say.
No, I mean,
talk, man.
biggest thing up, it's this is super cheap. This is super cheap skin.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing that with this piece, the other thing that's done this person no favors is use the round shader to shade all this. It's too big an area for a round shader.
That's a really good point, Andy.
You know what I mean? You could have got in here with a 15 mag, Dave.
Yeah.
7s and 15 mags. Now, they totally help, and especially if they're bug pin, they totally help smoothing your shading. Otherwise, and like I said, I can actually see that the shading is done in areas with a round shader because it's like whipped out and you've got that line effect as if you're doing it with a liner.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's some nice flow of some lines, but yes, you've just got to keep working it. And like Dave says, down the handle, very monotonal. You could have run black on outside of it if you wanted to whipped it out, but as long as on inside your tones were lighter and left some open space, and we say to everybody, open space and negative space is as important as the right shades everywhere else. Because if not, what a lot of people have a tendency to do when they're learning to tattoo is think, well, that's the tattoo. Somebody's going to come and want a tattoo. I've got to cover every square inch of that tattoo with ink, otherwise they're not getting value for money. No, it doesn't work like that. You're supposed to be the artist. So you're supposed to decide where the lines go, where the darks go, where the midtones go, where the lights go, where the open space goes to create a piece of art. You're not creating a drawing, you create supposedly with the direction that it's gone, depending on what you're doing, you're supposed to be creating the best bit of art that you can on that person, whether it be a name, this axe, a rose, an anchor, whatever you're putting on them. So you've also, like with this, couple of other little things in design flaws. As you come down the handle, I would have expected all segments as they come down the handle to be pretty even,
right,
as they come through it. And as you can see, not many of them match each other. So again, a culmination of a load of little things have ended up making this practice piece look worse than what it actually could be if we're just implementing a few different things, just like time, just working, looking, making sure everything's right, choosing the right needles, using mags where you need to use them.
Yeah, that's a good point, though. I mean, you gotta using that round shaders can be is not the best when covering that much space.
Yeah, needle choice is as crucial as anything.
Oh yeah, somebody did bring up a point. Whose teeth lean like that? Good catch there, Smoke. Yeah, he's got that angle going on. That thing's been smacked once or twice. Got the teeth moving, realistic. But hey, Josh, I'm glad you see the improvements, man. I see where you're going with it. I think you'll get better fake skin. Listen to what Andy had to say there, and I think you're going to see big improvements. All right, Steven is up next. Sorry, guys. I feel like a turd here. I meant to post my tattoo to the stupid gram earlier today and haven't gotten to it. So here I am trying to be a turd on my live stream here, trying to post something. But my attention span is all that of like I don't even know, something small, I guess. Steven, I'm almost got to post it here. It says, Steven, here's what I've been able to do in the past couple of weeks, about 2 months in now, trying to learn to not tattoo every square inch. Yeah, right. Harder than it sounds. Oh, line's still shaky, but I'm working on it. Made my grip bigger. It helped. Good. Now I just
Good.
need to get better. Just finished my tattoo safety course this week, so one step closer. Right on, man. Right, Sean. Hey, you know what? From here, these looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Let's get in a little bit. Hey, this still looks pretty good. I mean, look, this fake skin is not like creme de the creme. Doesn't look completely horrible either, but they're able to sink some lines. You can definitely see where some of these in human skin would have been a bit overdone, where you kind of had to double bang them and whatnot. But, he's using a good line weight, a good learning line weight. It's thick, doesn't show every little inconsistency. Not bad for these fake skins. Same over here. This is the kind of stuff good to practice, right, Andy? I mean, like, it's purely lines. You're taking it on. You're not trying to do a million other things all at once. Just trying to get them lines down is so beneficial in the long run. I'm all right, Andy. What are you?
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
geez. Okay, we'll go back to this one. We'll let you say what you want to say. I figured maybe it would be another line one, and I'd be like, go ahead, Andy, line it out. But if you got anything to say about this one, then absolutely. If you want me to zoom in on anything.
I mean, let's be right. 2 months in,
Yeah.
this person is basically just working on his line work. He's putting himself out there for us, and to say that, look at my line work. I'm doing nothing else. Here we go. Is it perfect? No, not by far. But I agree. The colour, the richness of the line seems to be saturated. Again, like you said, Dave, there's a couple of areas where he's gone over it a few times, and I can see that it's like, well, yeah, I've missed it, so he's thickened the lines up, especially in the leaves and everything. Is it a dog, is it a fox, or whatever it is, the top one? It's just like a geometric line work thing. And like I said, he's out there. Are they perfect? No. Right. Is he working on it? Yes, he is. Is he going in the right direction? Yes, you are. As long as this person keeps it real and keeps looking at stuff like this, gets himself a little bit better skin. If you're having problems, you said you fattened your grip up better. You're still having a few problems with shaky lines. That could be your hand coming over the skin. Now, if you've got your glove on, quick and easy little tip. If you've got your glove on, you're going like that, and you're finding, rub a bit of A&D or a bit of Vaseline on this side on underside of your glove, and that it will help you slide across that skin to give you that smoothness. Just a little tip there. Try it. If you think you're snagging a little bit, just on underside of your glove, just put some A&D or Vaseline. It will help you slide across that skin a little bit further. You can do the same on human skin. It'll help you if needs be. Just give it a go. It might help you just glide them lines in a little bit better, but keep going.
All right, now we're on to something totally different here. Yes, I do see what you're saying, where he's talking about how he's shading wall to wall every square inch and trying not to do that, and it can be tricky. But I like this. I mean, you're just a few months in, and I like the way it looks. Immediately you look at it, you're like, yeah, I know exactly what that is. It looks good, looks smooth. We can see the stroke marks in there, but they're consistent. Like, this doesn't feel patchy. It feels, slowly put in and evenly spread out, huh, Andy?
Yeah, it feels done on purpose, this. Yeah, so really nice. That's why I'm not even going to say anything, because this feels like an intentional grainy.
Yes, absolutely.
And absolutely. I'll be honest with you, Dave, if you'd have showed me this first and then you'd have showed me all of the toe, I'd said somebody's pulling my chain here, because I wouldn't have thought the same person has done this, because I mean, this is nice.
Yeah, I think this is
what it is. I mean, it's nice.
Absolutely. I wonder what they used for this, though. I wonder what they used. Hopefully they used a mag. It looks like they probably used a mag. Yeah, I can see mag strokes right here. That's good.
He's managed to capture some shade, some depth, and everything with this. And he's used a light, even though it might have even used black all the way through it, but he's done it with the windscreen, the side window's got the ever so slight little bit of shading in it, but left the open space on the front of the car for the highlights and everything. And that I think you've done a really good job of this piece to say that it's what, 2 months in.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that said.
Yeah, you have done a good job of this piece.
Heck yeah, I agree. I agree. All right, let's see what the next one we got is. Oh, okay. Hey, this is cool too. Yeah, I'm liking this, like the style in which this person shades and whatnot. It's pretty cool. It looks deliberate. It looks relatively smooth. It should improve even more over time.
Yeah. I mean, this is quite a nice piece. He's used same sort of texture in again. He's got some blacks in. He's got some really darks in. He's left his lights out. And that. Couple of little places that need a bit of work, especially like that. It's supposed to be like a love art that goes around edge, some of the little openings. I don't know if is it supposed to be like a film reel or are they supposed to be uniform? I don't know.
Yeah, that is a good point. Some little details in there.
Yeah, I mean, but he's got his highlights, he's got his bit, but there's clear separation across this piece between the darks, the lights, the mids, and the negative space. And if you were to zoom out a little bit, Dave, on this, zoom out a little bit more, and then from here it reads, and it reads well. You know, across it you can see the darks, the mid-tones, the lights. The only thing that screams to me really on this one is that bit of shading is done on the cheek, just seems to have that abrupt line finish on it.
Right.
It'd be nice if you just from a little bit further back, you'd just been, wafted out, softened off.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice progress, really good progress for 2 months in, really good progress.
Yeah, for sure. Looking good, man. Looking good. Right on. Next up is Ben. Here we go. Let me see. Is this gonna charge or not? I'm trying to get this stupid thing to charge. Probably not. All right. Ben says, "Hi. Can we review my work, please?" That's what we're here for. Let's see what we got. I would like to say your phone is at 1%. You may want to get that on the charger, as I'm trying to do right now. Mine's very close to 1%. I'm at like 3% here. But this stupid charger, which worked the other day, don't want to work today, whatever. Okay, let's take a look here. Okay. All right, interesting. Hey, that hand's looking all right. Looking like a hand.
Looks like he's giving somebody a bird, though, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
Looks like he's flipping, but it looks like
on he's like secretly like,
you know what I mean?
Photo.
You dirty dog. Take that one.
It's coming for you. Yeah, I like this. I like this. Not too bad. The spot I don't really like so much. And I think there's more that I actually do. At first, when I started at the top, I was like, eh. But as I come down here, I like a lot of this throughout here. This hand, this arm, the way the armor is, it feels light and reflective. I like this like heavy dark back here, which pushes that forward. Even up through here, these little pieces and bits, like I think they're nice. It's right over here and up around this head that I feel like we just kind of like rushed a bit up around this, whatever kind of leaf filigree stuff that is. And a little bit, yeah, I feel like we just kind of, I don't know. We have these heavy sort of rake marks that just don't go with the rest of the tattoo. It feels like it was rushed up and through here, and I can't really put my finger on exactly what it is. I just don't like the way, whatever that is, I don't like it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I don't really know what to say. I just don't like that part because I quite like this. It's not bad. Not so much here. What do you think, Andy? Am I?
Yeah, right. It's a nice piece, and it looks like it's all done in black. But for me, in my personal choice, it just looks. I agree with what you're saying, Dave. I mean, I like the armor. I like how it's done. I like the dark on the chest. I like how the hands have done. I like how it's got a little bit of detail, in the cuff and everything.
Right.
The thing that, and this is just my personal
Yeah.
choice. The thing I don't like about this, if you zoom out a little bit, Dave,
Yeah.
on that picture, just about there, it'll do, yeah. The thing that I don't like about this is when I look at it, it's done in a style that looks sketchy, it looks hurried.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It looks hurried, whereas, but this is just, like I say, this is just my thing. It's totally readable. We know what it is. That might have been the style that you was going for. That might be the style that you work in. I'm just saying, from my point of view, it just seems like it was quickly done, hurried.
Yeah.
Whereas if you could have spent a little bit more time on it and really refined it, but other than that, it's a good piece for what it is, and it's a nice piece for what it is.
Yeah, it's not bad, right? I don't think it's like fantastic by any means, but it's not bad. But like you said, it just feels rushed, especially like the left side of it. I mean, even like left and up. And like some people are saying the thumb, yeah, that does something. Yeah, I do see it now. Somebody was saying something with the thumb, but it's like there's some stuff going on here. It says, yeah, this person can do the job. It's just I don't know if the person's taking their time doing the job. Okay, here's another. Yeah, very similar. Same here, Andy. In fact,
yeah, I think this is other side of it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the other side. So what we saw over here was part of this wing.
Yeah.
And so this one feels a little bit even more so rushed than the previous piece we looked at.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, but then we're going to the wing at the top. If you, I don't know whether you can just scroll up. Can
how about that?
And
yeah, sorry.
Can you see them?
Oh yeah.
Them effects of the shall we say the feathers, the closer to the back of the head, that line work. I'm not saying do it any darker or any different way, but just a tiny little bit more detail, even using a line, and if it had just been odd little bit of darkness here and darkness there, I think would have just helped this. But same again, I just get the feeling that it was quickly done.
Yeah, right. That's the feeling there. So we know this person can slow down, take a little bit more time, and maybe have to charge the person for an extra hour and a half, but it's up to you what you're going for, We know we could blast the tattoo and get it like 70% there and do it quicker, save somebody money, or, take a little extra time. It's that give and take. But as long as I would say try to do the best you can regardless all the time. That's pretty much what I tell my clients, I tell them I'm going to do the best I can. That's all I can promise you is that I will do the best I can. And that's it. And sometimes it's you don't love it as much as you love your other pieces or this other stuff, but as long as you tried the best you could. Now this is on darker skin, but I just not feeling this. I just still don't think we used our darks right. The shading is very patchy. I think we did more than you should have here. Yeah. Maybe with a bit of a lack of true shading abilities in this.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
The problem for me with this one is, and it's so hard, and I still don't fully understand it myself.
Sure.
Not understanding how to use your correct tones on dark skin, because you can't use a light tone. You can't use a mid-tone because, like with this piece, the colour of the skin is more than likely going to be the mid-tone. So what you've got to use is you've got to use black, and then you've got to use something that's in between a mid-tone and black,
right,
to get that lighter bit. I personally find with darker skin, Dave, I can use a wider range of tones if I use true greys, because it's full pigment, and it just shows better.
And but then again, when
you've zoomed in, and there's no black in it. The line work is not very good. It's shaky. Areas don't meet. and the scales are just haphazard. And I've made that mistake with scales.
Yeah, they're the crisscross, the line,
Yeah.
line, and you're way better off to do it properly. Take the time. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this chin here. I call it chin. I don't know that snake has a chin, but his under jaw there is like there's some things that go beyond. Yeah, clearly you need to work on shading. You work on your tones. That's a thing in and of itself. One of the struggles in tattooing is figuring out your tones, figuring out how they go into the skin, how they look healed. Even if you're using a true gray, it can be the same thing. You can be working light grays, the skin gets red, you get confused, blah blah blah. So that in and of itself is this whole thing. Then learning the technique of how to get a smoothness, how to transition from tone to tone. How to line. I think lining is, I mean, there's some smooth lines here that aren't terrible, right? So, I mean, you got some stuff going on here. Some of these lines look a bit drilled. But again, that shading is going to be the thing. And then just, I guess, what would you call it? Like artistically or designly? I can't speak words today as usual. But these scales are not there, right? So when you're in the drawing phase before this or the design phase, these scales are not it. You know, you got to look at that and go, this is not right. And then even here, all these sort of parts of the snake get all lost together. Like, what is this? This is the bottom. This is scales. Like, so the shadowing is like exactly the same on every single one, no matter the direction it's coming from. All things we got to think about. Now, I will say, I'll be the first to tell you in tattooing, sometimes you can get a little free with where the light source is coming from. You know, sometimes you want to hear, sometimes you like doing your leaves like this, even though the light source isn't per se hitting them that way. You can get away with some of that stuff personally. I mean, other people tell you absolutely not. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever, just an opinion. But on this one, it's all over the place when it comes to what's going on here. I think the rose might be the best part of it, and that's still needs some solid black saturated in there. I don't know if you're doing this sort of like a round and circle thing. I'm not sure what you're doing there, but anyhow, I guess we'll get off this one.
Yeah.
And then if you look at the throat here, oh wait, this is the neck. It kind of feels, because it cuts back down here, like this is like a big Adam's apple or something sticking out. I you know, it's just the way my eyes are looking at it, like.
But I mean,
bump in the neck down here.
It's like, say, you got round the eye and the eyebrow. You can see where he's lined it, and it's got a proper black in it.
Yeah.
So if that were the case, and you wanted it solid black, your infill should have been the same color as your lines.
Yeah.
And it clearly isn't, because it stands forward. So you got to make sure that them blacks are packed in really well.
I'm sorry. I'm just listening to Annie and I was reading. Michael says, basically, snakes don't got parts, but if I had to call it anything, I'd say it's the knee. The knee. I don't know. It's been a long time, so I've literally laughed out loud, but that caught me. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Andy. I read that.
No problem. Crack on.
The technical term of that part of the snake, and they said the knee. Like, oh, dang. Oh, shoot. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that. And thank you for sending that in. I hope we will, we laugh and give it a hard time, but sometimes you got to know, like, all right, maybe I should take a step back. Maybe I should work on this, get that tough skin so that you can take a bit of criticism constructively and go, all right, and get back into it, make some modifications. We've seen it time and time again here on this channel. We're like, dude, that's rough. Hey, man, this is rough. Freaking month, 2 months later, come back with another piece. And it's like, whoa, that person took criticism from a couple of idiots and went and did some good stuff. All right. So definitely don't be discouraged if that's you out there. Keep killing it, right? Or keep working at it. Okay. Don't kill anything. Florin, what is going on? Hi, Dave. It is Florin. You checked out my work before, and I have now been tattooing for 1 year. Here are some of my recent works. Okay. People watching, I know you probably sent it in early, but try to just send in a few. Dang, man, from here. See how that dark, I'm still trying to remind myself even to this day that dark and that open skin creates such beautiful contrast, especially from a distance. Then if you can get those light tones in there to blend with it, it really works in the skin nicely.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, if you really look at this, it's dark tones put in properly. and skin left to breathe, which I still struggle with because I want to use all those tones. I want to use those mid tones and those light tones, and I don't have to do it all the time. I'm trying to pull back a little bit, you know. But this is nice, huh? It's nice. Just reads so nice. Super cool.
Yeah,
I
all
kind of
them.
like that they did this sort of like, I don't know, flowy outside border. Didn't just make it a solid black thing, which we can fall into a lot. I know I can. Yeah.
Just taking time as well to get all them little creases in over back at neck and round fin,
Right. Like through here.
folds. I mean, the eye is done in a super simplistic way, but it looks super. It looks super great. Do you know what I mean? It gives like it is actually bulging out. You know.
Yeah, it looks like it's protruding, huh?
And it's not super complex what they've done, but they've managed to get it right. And this is what it's all about. Nice work is this piece, Florian.
Yeah. See, I think a lot of times what looks simple is it's because it's all the details are done well. The little things, right? Like you said, all these little folds throughout here, all those little things, you know, if you just look at it, you know, you can miss a lot of those stuff. All those little things are what's leading to the overall thing looking cool. All right, now we jump from that to this simply lined piece, which again is nothing simple about a lined piece that stands on its own. And for the most part, I would say this is fine. You know, I think maybe using a thicker liner would have helped you out, or like a round shader would have helped a little bit more. But I got nothing. You know, sure there's a few, but you're dealing with this is right behind the knee. That can be a tough spot. All the way down the calf can be tricky. I think they did fine.
No, it's fine. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. It's simplistic line work. You look at it like this, you're not going to have no real qualms, you know, with it. If you know, looking at it from this, but it's fine. It's a nice piece of work.
All right.
Now this one,
you have a mess, Andy. You take this one away. I had something I got to check out here. Real quick.
Now this one for me, whereas on the turtle at the beginning, you'd got the darks and you left plenty of open space and some lighter one. It seems what you've done is you've over stippled this and maybe used what you might have been better off doing is when you've done the stippling on this, because it doesn't look an oversized toe, is using a 3-liner to get them stipples a bit smaller and get it a bit finer. And it just looks a bit rigid. Some of the edge of the petals and that look a bit square and a bit angular, but the lines are in. And that it's just that stipple shading, unfortunately, I think has thrown this piece right off. I think you've gone overboard with it, and I don't think the size of the needle that you've used has helped you any on this for the size of the needle that you've used for your stipple shading. And that maybe, like I said, drop down to a 3, crank your voltage right down so your stipples are open that little bit further. And it just left this piece could have been left a lot more open for me.
Right, it's a bit dark where it doesn't need to be, huh? And then not dark enough where you could have made it, right? If it's going to be this dark, then you got to darken up a bit of the depth. You know, I feel like I say that all the time, though, but it still stands true.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
yeah, it's not too bad. A little whale back there. It seems to be, you know, shading smooth.
It's a nice piece. You can see the shade, and I can see the contour in it. I can see where they've gone from a really dark on the bottom of the belly, halfway around it gets to a lighter tone, working its way around. Left it all on,
right?
Attention to detail, and everything. Maybe looking at the triangle, the top right-hand corner of the triangle where it comes across the top, could be the angle of the photo, but the line weight may not be quite the same as the other 2 points on it. But other than that, it's not a bad piece. It's not a bad piece at all.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Let's see what we got next. Bam. We got the fingers. The finger. This is this person's for lack of better words, a bit ballsy sending in a couple of fingers to this show. You know, the hands and eyelashes are highly critiqued here. You can thank Jeremy for the eyelashes. But you know, it's not too bad. I kind of feel like that pointer finger might be like broken and turned slightly. I don't know. I spent a lot. We should know this reference inside and out, but unfortunately, I don't see it all the time. But that pointer finger looks like it should kind of be like this, and somehow it's like somebody took the whole finger, just twisted it because that nail looks sideways. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's
looks
just
like the
me.
twisted.
Yeah, it looks a little
Looks
broken.
like the twist. You know, just the end of it. It looks like it's been twisted over,
Right.
just so that you could see that nail, because you wouldn't see as much of that nail
Right.
from that angle.
Yeah. And I mean, this is tough. You're doing the fingers. Now we're doing just like a really bold stippling. I would call this like a bold stippling, right? It's not like super
Yeah.
delicate and smoothed out. I mean, this is a style, but it leaves, it's kind of hard to get all the little curves and a hand that has really small gradations and whatnot throughout it. The pinky looks a little sausagey back there.
Yeah, but I mean, my biggest thing I would say to this person, for all intents and purposes, we'll take away from that little piece that's round. I mean, the lines look pretty crispy. What the biggest thing that I would say to this person, if you're going to take anything away from this, drop down to a 3 or a 5, drop down to a 3-liner or a 5-liner max to do your stipple shading. I don't know whether you've tried doing the stipple shading again with the same size as the liner, but me personally, I just think you will notice the difference yourself by dropping right down, and to start with, dropping your speed on your machine right down. And I think you will notice, yes, you're going to have to do a few more passes to get your stipples in how you want it, but you can gently build them up that way. Because sometimes if you're running a bigger liner and you're running your machine a bit too fast and you're trying to whip them shades in, sometimes it can go in too quick. And then you think you said, shit. You know what I mean? I didn't want it that down.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
That's something, that's the main thing I'd say to this person to take away. Butterflies.
Oh, you know, I really like this butterfly, Andy. I know I've seen this reference a lot. It works, right? I like the one that there's a couple butterfly references, like the one where the shadow's a little further away. It really makes it feel like the wings are a bit higher off the ground, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I like it. There's a very little blend between the colors, but it actually works in this because you're kind of giving it that rainbow feel and whatnot. I like that the antennas are single line, pretty smooth. The black's packed in pretty solid. The white's in there. Yeah, I don't mind this tattoo. I mean, yeah, no, it seems relatively saturated. Be hard to tell sometimes. You'll know when it heals.
Yeah, I mean, yep, nice sticker tattoo.
Yeah,
blacks are in, whites are in, colours are in. Obviously, somebody's probably specified this colour range.
Oh, absolutely.
Because otherwise you wouldn't do a colour butterfly like this. And I'll be honest with you, if I had to pick anything that I had to basically tattoo 3-4 times a week, it would be a colour butterfly. I absolutely love doing them because your artistic creativity with the colours and everything, bosh, straight out, you know what I mean? It's one of them. You can just go with the flow. Your mind can go all over the place. Colours, this, that, and other than that, just absolutely, you know.
Yeah.
Love doing them, and I do them sort of like all day long. What I will say, again, right, Google it if you don't think I'm true, but butterfly wings are symmetrical. Top right-hand wing.
Yeah, I see it.
You've got 1, 2, 3, and then 2 little ones. You've got 1, 2, and then the different shapes. Yes, because don't get me wrong, they'll be slightly different shapes because they're at a slightly different angle. But then you come into bottom wing, from that thick black midline, you've got on the outer edge, you've got that oval, and then you've got a fat black line. That flat black line would still be a fat black line on other side of a slightly different shape.
True.
And that's what I'm saying. This is a major thing, and you see so many people drop the ball on this one, but
Yeah.
they are. Go Google it. Butterfly wings are symmetrical.
Hey, that's
And
good. It's good to know sometimes too, you know, to
yeah,
know that they're symmetrical, to check yourself, because little things like that, you know, not everybody's, you know, thinking that. You might find a reference somebody wants, you're like, okay, that's the one, you know, it's a butterfly, you know, so you do it and then you find out, oh, I quite like this little guy.
this is nice. I
Yeah,
like
this
it.
is kind of cool. I like the little stroke marks, the feel of fur, whatever the heck you want to call it. Yeah, and it's nice. Placement's nice, dainty
This,
but solid.
this,
Good job. Good job. I like it.
this is a
I like it.
super nice female piece.
Yeah,
This
it's
thing.
not overly
It's got the,
complicating. It's just
it's not
nice.
overcomplicated, but it's got the right amount of waxing. It's got lovely whip shading in this. It's got lighter tones in it. It's got darker tones in it. The eye, the beak, the feathers, the wings, everything. This is a super cool piece, even down to the little ribs with a finer liner through that foot in the claws. Really well done. This is a really nice piece. For as much as it's simple, it's still complicated.
Right.
And it's pulled off really nice. This is a cool piece.
Definitely.
This is a really nice piece.
Definitely agree there. That is for sure. All right, let's see. Let's jump to, if it'll let me. Why is it not letting me? There we go. Next piece. All right. Yeah, I mean, we're zoomed in pretty good. I also don't mind the script, man. I mean, yeah, there's little spots, but man, even, you know, you're gonna have pick up, put down marks. It's not too bad. It's relatively consistent straight across, in my opinion. I mean,
I'll let you critique this piece. I'm just going to take a pit stop.
Yeah, sure, no problem, man. Hey, look, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty well done critiquing this one. I really don't have. Where the heck am I? Sorry, I'm losing some stuff here. I gotta. We'll save that. Cancel. 1 second, guys. Sorry. All right, I'm not going to save that. There we go. Trying to keep track of all these little windows and everything, and I just lost one. Where the heck did it go? Hang on, guys. Boom. Huh. Are we even still live here? Oh, there it is. Okay. Sorry about that. Thanks for hanging in there. Appreciate it. So anyhow, yeah, I think this one looks fine. I'm not really going to beat this up by any way, shape, or form, but it's coming from me. I'm not the biggest fan of script. I do it, and I don't love it, but this looks pretty decent, relatively smooth, man. I think overall you got some good stuff going on here for a solid year. Be proud of yourself, man. You got it, man. Oh, thank you. Are you later? I hate it. Okay. All right. Is this your work, Tibberts? Is this your work? There's still two. No, is there? Wait, what? No, we hit them all. All right. Next one up is Bradley. Yeah, very good work for a year. I started tattooing 2 years ago using your videos to learn my fundamentals. Let me know what you think. All right, let's take a look here. All right. Lining looks pretty decent overall on this down here. A little heavy there, but not too bad. I think the line's looking all right. I'm just looking at the lining right now. Appears that you got some different line weights. We have some thinner lines throughout, like the little furs in the middle and whatnot. I like that. Red seems all right, rightly saturated. Yeah, you know, overall, it's not too bad. I like it. I think that your shading could just need one more pass to smooth out in some spots. That's it. And you might want it this way. You might want that little bit of like rough texture in there. It's very possible. So it's very important you take what we say with a grain of salt. But I could see maybe just one more like under the nose here, just a little bit, one more pass just right across here. Boom, 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 feather that out in a few spots. But I like the use of the red right next to solid black in with this lighter tones. It reads nice, you know. I mean, that's popping out of that area. Plus, when you get back into this area, it can be a bit of a pain, man. So good to go. Good to go. The stuff I would say it would be, again, a bit on the subjective side. But yeah, I think you got black in here to carry it along. I think you can always try to tuck a little more black here and there, but I think you went smart with it. You put solid black, open, solid black, a little bit open, breathability here and there. So cool, man. Very nice. Nice. Thank you, my friend. Next up is hello, been doing an apprenticeship for about 2 months. Please be brutally honest on my work, specifically the last two. Thanks. Big fan. All right. So you've been in an apprenticeship for about 2 months. So let's take a look what we got. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
should be.
see the Santa here is probably the best we got going on. And while, yes, I am zoomed in a bit, but at the same time, you could definitely have gotten a lot of these things smoothed out here. Who could, even if you kind of missed your mark on your stencil, there's really no excuse for this as you move forward, right? Learn from this. Worst case scenario, you come back and you sculpt this out. I mean, it's not what you want to go into doing it. I understand, but you're going to have to come back and sculpt this out. Things are missing. This lines aren't connected, right? Even on the Santa here, the A doesn't look like that A. It's missing right there. You know, F, I mean, we need to saturate. You got a nice solid line coming down, another nice line come down, no saturation. You know, we just kind of repeat the process. Up here, this B is probably the most obvious, but this word right here is pretty well the same. I mean, let's see what we got next. Okay. Oh, all right. This ain't too bad. Simple little guy. Learn some stuff here. Is there a couple lines that, got a little pickup put down, lines connecting? Sure. But overall, I don't really want to beat this up because these are the kind of little tattoos you want to do when you're early on, right? The hand doesn't have to move a mile. You're from here to here. You can kind of plant your hand and get a good movement. Good little small first time getting into tattooing, skin, apprenticeship style things. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know about this one, man.
No,
at least it's on fake skin, man, right? At least it's on fake skin. That's really all I can get at on that one.
Yeah, I would say leave the portraits alone for the minute.
Right.
Stick to your smaller stuff. Make better use of your fake skin. Keep the smaller stuff. You could get four half right size tattoos on a piece of fake skin that size, and concentrate on your line work. Then shade them in. You use the smaller pieces to practice your shading. Use the back of it just to do some random shading. But you need to be able to saturate your lines, pull your lines, and before you move on to shading, you at least need to be able to pack black, saturate it without leaving any holidays or anything, and then work on from there outwards, to shading, soft shading, right. Tones. I would say leave the portraits alone because this is not going to do you any favors whatsoever. You'll only end up beating yourself up, getting stressed. Whereas if you're working on smaller stuff, you're likely to keep it within your realms of capability.
Yeah, I think sometimes you see, you want to try a little bit of everything. I get it. Sometimes you jump into some stuff, you try a little bit and you go, okay, that's not for me right now. Let me focus on this. But just because maybe somebody else does that style work doesn't mean you have to do that style work. But you might find your way in doing something completely different, and that's totally fine. But at least it's on fake skin. Hey, this is one of my first tattoos I did in a shop. Looks about the same. Not bad, but not perfect, right? Yeah. Hey, this is cool, man. About the same size, too. Funny. About the same line weight. I think I did a little bit thicker of a line weight here. But I feel like some of these lines a little bit inconsistent, right? Thickness-wise, but overall, not too bad, Andy. I don't know. What do you think? Am I being too
it's like you say. I mean, they've kept to a larger line. Is it perfect? No. And that I can see there's a couple of lines that have been gone over, especially that bottom right-hand leaf. And the little flowery bud on the left-hand side. You can see the line weights are heavier, a couple of little places. But yeah, I mean, when you're starting out in your apprenticeship, 2 months in, this is where you probably expect to be and what you'd expect to be doing. You've just got to own it in from here on in, and learn.
Yeah.
Learn your machine, learn your needles, learn your depth, find your comfortable hand speed to
Voltage.
voltage. That's it. I'm glad you jumped in there, Dave. Otherwise, I've been like 10
My
minutes
brain's been that way the whole damn time.
yeah. But like I said, no. But this is where 2 months you'd probably expect somebody to be.
Yeah. Yep. Boy, what a blast from the past. Hey, what the? Is this yours, Andy?
That's mine.
Hey, I wonder if maybe this is mine. Maybe this is the one I did. Maybe I'm critiquing my own tattoo.
Yeah.
How funny would
Probably
that
is.
be? It's like, dang, Dave. Yeah, I don't know, because isn't that yours? And
That's mine.
I'm so confused now. Oh, that's funny. Okay. No wonder that one looked familiar. It's my own.
Yeah.
It's from a long time ago, too.
You missed one, haven't you, Dave?
Well, this one doesn't have anything attached to it. Oh, maybe it does. I'm scared to push it. Let's see. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it says I need access. All right. Christopher, for some reason, I'm not going to give you the history, but would love for you to take a look and let me know what you think. Love you, brother. Again, Christopher, I can't, for some reason, these won't open. It says I need access. And then I try to, stay away from opening too much stuff here on the computer.
Yeah, Paul. Yeah, we don't realize critiquing
Hey, Paul, yeah, I didn't either, man. So here I am going, yeah, I felt about right. It looked so familiar.
Yeah, I mean,
it was fun to do, actually. Somebody should do that again. Sneak that in there. Some old stuff like that, because then it's like, then you don't know, you don't know. I also have a video, guys, if you want to check it out, where I do actually critique my own work from like back in the day when I first started.
Oh, but funny, Dave. I can critique my own work all day long because it's never, and you know yourself as a tattoo artist, it's never, you're never 100% satisfied with what you've done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Always, man. It was great to see that one too, because I literally remember the girl. I was really proud of that tattoo when I did it, because it was like one of the first ones where I had no idea what I was doing in the shop. Again, I got videos to talk about this situation. And I guess I just happened to put my coil machine together properly that day, like put everything in, because when I went to line, it just worked. And I think that was the first time I was using some version of a round shader and stuff. So yeah, it's so cool to see that. So thanks, Paul. I appreciate it, man. What definitely some fun. Okay, let's see. We got Evan Matthias. Hi, this is some of my work. The cat is a cover-up work. All right, the cat is a cover-up work. All right. Let's see here. We got yeah, all right, that's cool. I just wish you'd take a photo without the plastic on there, because it helps us be able to see a bit more of what's going on. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. It's kind of hard to tell when we're looking at these. Like, is that a red? But I kind of think that might be a gray, maybe, and it's just kind of sore with a little bit of white on there. I don't know. I'm gonna jump to the other ones, because the other one's a bit more visible. Like, this cat looks pretty cool, especially from here. I think the problem is we get a little bit closer, you kind of start to see that it's a bit harshly done. But again, from here, this cat looks cool. From a distance, this person walking around, this cat from a distance, like, yeah, that's dope. Get a little bit closer, you kind of feel it's a little bit on the patchy side. I'd be curious to see what you guys think in the chat. What do you think about this one? Is it just me? Am I being harsh? Sometimes we can be that way. What do you think, Andy?
It's quite simplistic, isn't it? For what it is. I mean, then again, it's like we say, we don't know what the reference is. We don't know what the stencil is that they've printed out. It's quite tonal, but there is some open space. But in the spaces that is black or grey, they're quite close together. It's hard to get a read on this one. To be fair, I don't know. It just seems to be lacking in maybe some detail, but I don't know what the picture is that they've had to go from.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And even in the white, where it's white down here on the cat's beard, you could have used this really, really, really pale grey wash just to give the hint of some direction of the fur.
Yeah.
And I think it may be just missing a little bit in there.
Nice. Yeah. kind of getting the similar vibe from everybody. Fur's a little bit lazy, but some people like it. Not much details overall. It's visible. Background is too harsh as well, and that's a good point too.
Yeah.
I mean, you could soften that background up a little bit. I've been definitely fallen into that trap before too, and just get a little too dark with that background or a little too haphazard with it. Yeah, I think the overall thing it's like close. It's just a bit patchy. So there you go. All right. Yeah, I mean, I see what we got going on here. But as you can see, especially up around this knee here, where the lines are a bit half in, half not, bit inconsistent, if you will. But I mean, for the most part, it's all right. And some of this green just needs to be a bit more saturated. It looks most of this color is just not quite saturated, huh, Andy? Is it like a little patchy? Like it's just maybe they're moving too fast and not taking their time there with letting that color really saturate into the skin.
Yeah, I mean, it develops if they'd used a bit more separation between the colours, because there's a couple of colours in them leaves. But if they'd used a dark green, a light green, and a yellow, then they would have just separated them leaves out a little bit more, colour wise,
right?
And they'd have made them pop a little bit more on it. And that's my main what can I say? My main critique on this,
gotcha,
is that one. Just because there's a lot of leaves on there, it would have been nice if they would have actually just popped out a little bit more, colour wise.
Right. All right, let's take a look. Hey guys, if you want, I've been lazy today and I haven't gotten around to posting my normal Sunday tattoo. If I have one, I usually post the one I like the most for the week. Anyhow, if you want to go check it out, it's on Instagram at daveinks.88 or my Facebook, Death Punch Inc. While you're there, go follow Andy as well. Just show some support. It's cool. And if you wouldn't mind, guys, throwing your Instagram, I always say tags, I don't know what they're called, your ats, whatever, in the chat so I can make sure I'm following you guys too, because I want to follow what you guys are doing as well. Trying to make that. So please put your information in the chat so everybody can kind of follow each other here. We're kind of the same group here, always here, at least in the chat and whatnot. So do that so I can follow you guys. Also, make sure you go follow Andy's YouTube channel. It's in its infancy stages, but we are probably going to be running a Q&A sometime this week over there, specifically on his channel.
I don't think it lets you put does it let you put a link in? I think that's, I don't know, I might have done this wrong. I suppose if you copy that out of there and put it in YouTube, it'd take you across to one of the videos.
I know it's Andy's channel is _tattoo_studio.
Yep.
_tattoo_studio. There'll be, I think there's like a live stream over there that you did the other day, maybe a few days ago, testing some stuff out.
Just testing, and like I say, I think because I've been messing around with the same app as what you do. So, like I say, if we can maybe hook up again, and so I can just test it out from my end, and even if it's just half an hour or an hour, just Q&A crap on that side. So if anybody wants to come and play,
right there. Tibbert's put it up there. The Tattoo Studio guys.
Cheers, thank you.
Subscribe.
So Jason, like I say, we're here for you. So on a Sunday night, so least you can do is be there for us.
Right. I mean? We're gonna, like I said, if you're not subscribed, YouTube sends out very little notifications to the people here, let alone are they going to send them out if you're not subscribed. So if you're subscribed to his channel, you'll know, guys, when the impromptu live goes. And it's just going to be a chill session, hangout. I'm pretty sure Andy, right? BS. Yeah. And just answer some questions. Do me and Andy's usual conversation.
Cause like I said, I just want to, because like you got here, because you're using a particular studio, and that to host all this, I've basically done the same, but unlike you, I need to get my head around it and make sure everything's working. So
Right.
just do some sort of impromptu and just chat crap and answer questions and hang out. Then I know everything's running okay. Then from there on in, I'm okay. I can do. We can move on and schedule other stuff. When is this? Don't know. It's whenever Dave's got some time free, when I've got some time free, but I would have thought it'd be more than likely try and aim for some. You've had one on Sunday, so I'll probably aim for somewhere around about midweek. We'll just see what we've both got on.
Yeah, probably probably evening, maybe.
Yeah.
Not super late, because I know it's gonna be super late for you guys to wake up next year. But that's the thing. Go make sure you subscribe, so that way when it impromptu happens, if that's a word, you're ready to go and whatnot. And that's gonna be super cool because it's, super intimate over there and whatnot. We can really BS and chat and have a good time, But yeah, hey, Jason, throw your Instagram into the chat so I can make sure I'm following. I know you asked earlier if I was, and I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get better, if you will, at following you
John,
guys.
And isn't your page the Ellisink 2019? That's my Instagram.
Right.
Is Ellisink 2019? It's on bottom of the thing. Obviously, my Facebook page is Ellisink Tattoos. That's my business page. That's my work. That's where all my work comes into and everything. My Instagram, like I say, people come through there. Smoke, he likes to chat through my Instagram till after o'clock in the morning. So does Jason. Jason chats through there. Had some good chats and passed a bit of information on backwards and forwards all this week. So yeah, so that's my Instagram page is the Ellisink 2019, and obviously I had a YouTube channel. I haven't done anything with it. I actually got my ass in the gear a bit last week, and I was messing around with stuff, and just ended up doing for an impromptu live, which I says I was going to be on for 20 minutes, and I think ended up being on for about an hour and 20 minutes.
Ended up going pretty good.
Dave were in chat, which must have been novel for him, sat in chat outside typing away.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to be in the chat. Sorry, I will be right back to work here.
Yeah, so that must have been a novel one for Dave, just sat in chat typing away instead of being on screen. That were a different experience. A few of you already found channel over there. And like I said, I'll probably go midweek, test some software out, not too serious. And we'll just, for shits and giggles, and just test it all out and answer questions and have a laugh. But if you don't go over, don't find page, like, subscribe, press notification bell, check all or whatever it is that you've got to do, and you won't get any notifications and you'll miss us midweek.
Yep.
But I appreciate it if you would.
So back to it here. We got the last piece.
Another Michael Jackson.
Yeah. And it kind of comes off. I like the concept. I do like the bit of the color behind it and whatnot. Unfortunately, the triangle lines back here are they're visibly from here a bit off, right? It's not. If you're gonna do these straight lines, try to find a way to break it up if possible. Maybe put a dot in there, something you can do to help yourself out, so you're not trying to run these super long lines. And then in the face, I think the shading's probably in the right spots. We have light areas where there's supposed to be light areas. It just feels a little patchy and not really smooth out. You do get a little bit of a smoothness here when it comes out of the nose right there, but you just kind of wish there was a little bit more of that throughout. It's like these lines come and then it just cuts right off, but it doesn't feel like, I think you know what I'm saying if you're watching. But I do like that you're going for this sort of like color, skin tone. Skin tone is such a pain in the butt. I really don't do a lot of skin tones because it's not something I've really dabbled in heavily. I have 3 or 4 different pre-made skin tones that I like and I use, but I usually actually don't use them for skin tone things. I use them for like tans and what have you. But yeah, and the hair, like this is a big heavy area of black. I like a lot of black. It makes everything else pop a bit. I do like that in the front here you have like these little spots that give you some shape and whatnot. And if possible, it's best to try to get a little bit more of that throughout. If you can, just a spot here or there, it helps sell hair shape and all that just a little bit more. But even down here around this section here, when you're just working black, all these colors are just a bit patchy when it comes to their application. So I'd work on just smoothing those things out a little bit, and I think it'll help you big time. He's a bit Hurley looking. Hurley?
Hairy.
Oh, is that what that is? Hairy. Oh,
I
okay.
think it's meant to be hairy. I don't know. I mean, lines around triangle, line diamond are a bit thing, but the thing is, can't I miss the mark that far because we knew who it was by looking at it?
Yeah, but that's not saying a whole lot. I mean, yeah, I know who this person is, but at the same time, it's like it's not bad, but it just feels. I mean, it's patchy. I mean, the tones are patchy, and they're very much the same throughout. If this were in black and gray, we would easily be able to say, "Oh yeah, that shading is patchy. It's a bit tonal." But yeah, I mean, it does have that kind of like that retro look. But that's just my opinion, and it's nice to know that you're looking at this going like, "But I like it," you know.
It's like we said, like we totally said before, art is subjective. From everybody's different. Everybody sees it different through their own eyes. So, like I say, but this to me looks like a really, really young Michael Jackson. Could it be smoothed out a little bit? Yes. Is it a little bit patchy? Yes. And like you say, if it was in black and grey, this would all show up more than what it is. But like I say, I don't think it's a horrible piece.
No, not at all, man.
Not at all. Just in personal, there's just a couple of little tweaks that could have been done. I mean, especially around the cheeks where they've got the slightly darker tone in for the skin. Again, would have been nice to just been darker through to softer instead of having that stark, finish lines.
He's got it. But you know what, Andy? The great thing about this, though, too, is somebody could always come back through and smooth it out more. Maybe add a little bit more of a darker skin tone to give it a little bit more depth or whatnot if they wanted to. But yeah, overall, not bad. It's kind of cool to see the body of work here where you're at. And I think it's all going to come down to the details. If we do a quick look back through here, everything is just, it's like close. It's like, oh, all right. Okay. Yeah, I see where you're going, but slow down a little bit. Take your time. Take a little bit more time, if you will. So that would be my 2 pennies of thoughts. Oh, we have our trolls in the house again. I see our Gelator hanging out. Yeah. What's going on? Appreciate always being here and all the support, though. Even though
you see on this like tonight. I'm not going to comment tonight on hers because when I went live on my channel, other night, Dave, and that she wasn't there, so I just won't be there this week for her title. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All swings and roundabouts, Dave. Got to do it that way. We've got to support each other. So no, that's it. Finished, done and dusted. We forget it. You know what I mean? I'm not there for you. I'm not there for your titles this week.
Hey, thank you, Bradley. Appreciate you supporting our buddy Andy here.
Thank you.
And I think somebody else said Uric also went ahead and went over there and subscribed. So get over there, do it that way. When the time comes, we can. You'll be there. Okay, finish the black background. Never again. Oh my gosh, yeah, you really did a lot.
Oh, you really packed that in.
Woo! And started some tiger realism pieces. Sorry about the purple stencil. I'll clean it up later. But as usual, just finished. So sending out what I have. Cool. Let's start with the one from last week. Dang, you really spent the time to go and black all that out. Well, it's a nice like hanger piece now. You can hang it up. And I see now what you were probably trying to tell us last week about your reference, how once the black is all back there, this will read more as hair. And it does. It does read more as hair, and it just kind of gets lost up in here, just kind of heads back up into that darkness. So that's pretty cool. I do see that now. And and I'm sure you know this, I'll just mention it. I'm sure you understand and can kind of figure this out. If this were on a human body, you'd have to figure out for the most part where to stop this black, how to make this black blend out. So, because most of the time, if you put that, let's say you went right here, again, I'm sure you know this, you put that face right there. They probably don't want black around the whole shoulder. Sometimes they do. And I would wish they would more often, because then you can really give them so much contrast throughout a piece. But cool. All
yeah,
right.
I mean, it's.
Oh, go ahead, Andy.
No, I mean, it finished.
Yeah.
Like you said, for a wall hanging piece, it finished the piece off going that far black on the outside, and it took it and it's brought that face right out. It's brought it right out off the canvas. But like you've said, if it was on somebody, you wouldn't just probably put a black square around it. At some point, you either going to have to fade it out or whatever, shape it out. But in this instance, on this square, it really worked, and it's quite striking.
Yeah, super cool. And kudos to you for taking the time to saturate all that black. I see why you never want to do it again. This fur is super, super nice. I mean, it definitely flows, and the patience and the time you took to do this and do it properly. A good skill to have. It's something I've never gone and done, and really, really do fur and take that time and get a feel for that. That's what the practice skin is all about. Because I think you have the ability to be tattooing human skin very well. But hey, at least you're on fake skin doing different things, working on different techniques that, so when you have more opportunity to tattoo human skin, you got all these extra little things in the bag. I like this fur. It looks good.
And what would be interesting, just on a side note, like I said, it's well done. It's got direction. It's got depth. It's got all the tones in it. It's got the little bits of white highlights in it. But these are on fake skin and just honing her skills in. What I would say, I'm just being nosy how long these each section has taken you to do. Because on the flip side of it, Articulator, like we've said, is a person that should be undoubtedly on real skin, human skin.
Doing so good on the fake skin.
Without you're actually hindering yourself now by not working on human skin. Around 20 minutes, good, that's fine. Because I know initially when you started sending your pieces in, you got some small pieces, you were taking a long time to do some pieces. And obviously, as you're getting into your comfort zone, and you're getting used to everything, you've considerably got faster, which is also a nice thing to see. You've got considerably faster and still producing this,
right? Good point.
Which is good. So you just got to remember, if you're actually doing this on human skin, how long it's taken you, but also when you transferred it over onto human skin, and it wouldn't also react the same as a piece of silicone fake skin. It may take you a little bit longer. But nice work. Nice. It's got direction. It's got flow. It's got light, dark, depth, everything to it. Nice work as per usual.
All right, yeah, this is cool. I like that you put a coin there so I can better understand the size of it. Sometimes it's hard to know when you zoom in on stuff.
You do understand, Dave. Them coins are tattooed on every piece. She's done them coins are a tattoo. It's not an actual coin. She's done that. You've seen the depth. If she can implement the depth in the nose as she can in the coin, and that.
You yanking my chain here.
I'm yanking your chain. It is a coin.
I'm pretty gullible, so I'm like, wait, is Andy? If she said that, is pretty freaking accurate. So I'm like, yeah, that ain't happening. Yeah. Gullible. It's written on my forehead, but not that, not today. But no, this is cool. I like the nose depth here. It looks good. Again, a couple things that are going to come down to personal preference would be just tucking a little bit more black, like see these little. I would just kind of emphasize a few spots, just a little bit more through the center here, where it's just the darkest. But that's just me, and that's just going to give a little bit more depth of feel.
I'd agree with you. The thing that's missing off this is just a little bit more dark in places.
Yeah.
This little bit down middle.
I'll be right back.
Under nose, upper lip, that could have been a little bit darker. And then just as it fans out, there could have been a little bit more dark. I'm not saying a great deal, just a little bit more dark, across here. Same as Dave says, over the top of the nose. So first could have just been a little bit darker and a little bit more pronounced. But as a whole, it's still good work. Like I said, they're just missing a little bit of dark, in my personal opinion. I agree with you there, Dave.
Nice work, Artie. Thanks for sending it in. Let us check it out. Oh, I got a burp again. Excuse me. Now, I'm going to say it now that I know there's not enough people here to make it to our target here. Hang on a second.
Smash a like.
Nah, you're good. We're only at 48. We're going to be fine here. We're going to be fine. We got, I don't know how much longer we have, but we're only at 48 likes. We're supposed to get to 100. I would show what's hiding underneath my hat, which is a little bit of hair. Not a lot. There's a little bit there, but nobody ever really gets to see. So Andy volunteered me to do that on the last time we were live. If we hit 100 likes, and I said in the beginning, and I waited till we were like halfway through.
Yeah, you did.
To try to guarantee my success that I didn't really comb my hair too much. This morning for church, people, if you want to know what my hat looks, I take my hat off in church and in bed before I go to bed. But anyhow, stop it, guys. There's 4 people just like this. It's not necessary. We're not going to get to 100, so don't even waste your time. And we'll try for next week. There we go. Because I'm not going to look back here till towards the end. And I think we're going to be safe. I'm going to be safe today. Whew. Okay, moving on. Just wanted to check that out here. Let's take a look at Motson. Yeah, I can't pronounce names. Those are my most recent ones. I is finished today. The band logos a few days ago, and the pirate about 10 days ago. Used new needles for the eyes and the band logo. I don't know what that means. Are you just like reusing the old needles? If you can do that, it's on fake skin. You're not cross-contaminating or doing anything like that. But the needles do dull out, especially on this like fake skin rubber. So I would just suggest, if you can afford it, to switch your needles, get new needles for every session, because they will dull out and it's going to give you a different effect. You might be wondering why things aren't working as good and what have you later on. All right. Yeah, this is pretty small, but a lot going on here. Not too bad. I would still take your time, lot of little things in here. This black could be saturated just a wee bit more. Lineage, most of them are pretty good. These fake skins aren't perfect. So overall, I'd say it's not bad. I like the contrast in it. You're not trying to do any crazy shading. It's on fake skin. You haven't been doing it very long, so I'm not going to beat you up here or really get too dramatic. I think it's looking good for, a sort of straightforward black and open skin thing. What do you think, Andy?
Yeah, it's like I said, some of the line work's nice. Some of it's a bit. Could you spend a little bit more time on it? What I would like to probably said, it'd be, could use the little dashy lines that go through the legs and over the pirate, and that for me, I would have maybe use a finer liner. Just dropped it down a size.
Yeah,
look a bit same thickness as your outlines. I think it may have just brought this piece in a little bit more. But other than that, it is what it is. Black looks seems to be in a fairly well packed, and that. But yeah, for what it is, I don't think it's too bad.
Cool. I'll go to the next one. Get a zoom in here. All right, that black seems quite saturated, so that's a good thing. You got this nice saturated black throughout here, but I would just take a little bit more time with the lining in a lot of these places. It's there. It just needs to be a bit smoother. So these eyelashes aren't bad. You want to make sure that you get them to a nice point at the tip, bring them down. Try not to get a little fat blob at the end. Most of these are all right. Yeah, again, you're early on here, but things to look at. If this one's pointy, make sure that one's pointy. You can always go back and add that. I don't know. I don't want to beat it up too bad, but it just needs a bit more finesse. That's all.
Yeah, just needs a little bit of tweaking here and there. And I think you pretty much hit on it. I mean, the black seems to be relatively in there. But what I'm saying is, like you said, Dave, with this piece, on the mandala parts on this piece, again, the symmetrical. So if you've got a fat line on the left-hand side, make sure you've got a fat line on the right-hand side. It's like just above the eye. The one that comes out on an angle has got two fat lines going around it, whereas the right-hand side, one of them's fatter, one of them's thinner. And like Dave says, if they're coming to a point, one comes to a point, make sure the other one comes to a point. So there's that. And then through the eye, where you've done the patterns through the eye, just need to, like I said, slow your send down, just make sure everything's in, everything's as good as you can. Because really, this is on fake skin.
Yeah.
And it's not moving, it's not breathing, it's not twitching, it's not doing that. So if anything is going to be, if your work's going to be anywhere near 99% right, it's going to be on fake skin. When you get onto human skin, it stretches, it moves, it's in, it's out, it's got different density. This point might not take ink same as this point, and you've got all them factors to deal with, as well as stretching it. Whereas you can eliminate a lot of it when using fake skin. So that's just something to really, really use your fake skin and hone your work in, because when you transition over, you'll be like, well, this worked on fake skin, but it's not working on human skin now. Well, it won't, because it's totally different. But fake skin gives you the basics.
Well, let's check out the next one. Yeah. All right. I see we're packing it in, pretty well. There's some openings here and there. I would just focus on, the lining a bit more. You can hide a bit of it by packing it in, and that's good. But you want to get these lines a bit more consistent. And again, I'm not sure which order or direction we're moving in here. What's up, Andy? Lashes of my dreams.
But can I say something on that piece?
Absolutely, man.
Is it Motson, or whatever it is? You bottleless get. You didn't do them two perpendicular, them two concentric circles round that man at the end. You absolutely chickened out of doing them. I can't believe it.
You can't blame him there. But
I can't blame him, no. But I just think it's funny, because circles are the bane of a tattooist life.
Oh, are they ever, man? Are they ever?
I just think it's so funny that we can still see them on the fake skin and he's not tattooed them. But if you don't exactly, if people have said to me, Andy, how do I get a perfect circle? Quite easily, don't do one. You know what I mean? Don't do it. You know what I mean? Talk them into having a square, or just don't do the circles. But as I say, but yeah, smart move. If it's not there, you can't get critiqued on it. Good move. I like it.
Very cool. And yeah. All right, next up is Kitty. Let's see. Watching stream right now, loving it. Sweet, thanks, Kitty. Feel free to get in the chat if you want. I feel like that's where it's fun from our end, because then we can actually communicate, somewhat. Oh, there you are. That's one of my on myself. If you got a second email, ignore it. I thought my submission wasn't going through. No, a lot of people think that, and maybe sometimes they don't, but we go in order and we attack them as they come. And let's take a look here. So from here, I really like it. It reads fine, from back here. And I think it still is going to read fine the closer we get, because I'm going to start at the top here. And these lines look pretty nice. Smooth, consistent. There's a little room for improvement. We all have that. I even like this little shade you have right here. Reads well. A little white potential highlight up here. I like that. The little, I guess these are chain? I see you went with, it works. It works. I believe this piece should probably cross over this piece, but for the sake of the size and everything, I think it's fine. You got the little marks here to give the feel of wood, and that's working out. Even if the line's a little off here and there towards the bottom, it kind of like adds to the look of being a little wood-like, if you will. So I'm fine with this piece. I think it's fine. I'm sure you're not super far along in your tattooing career. You did it on yourself. I think you're doing all right. I might need some yoga classes. I can't bend. Yeah, that is an interesting way to bend, right? My chains need work, right? Yeah, that's about.
Yeah, I mean,
about it.
The chains do with a little bit of work. I'm assuming it's quite small. I mean, it's on the side of the leg, so then the piece probably is not small, but the chain part's going to be small.
Yeah,
like you say. I mean, this is meant to look like an old sickle scythe, reaper scythe, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Got a good little interesting bit of shading on the blade with a bit of dot work. What I would have maybe done, my personal choice again, I'm not really going to critique you on it, but just off that line that you've done is going from black outwards. I know you've done some black lines, but maybe just put a little bit on, but that's just my take on it. And top of the handle, where it's right at the top, where you've got like a lighter green there, mate. I just started with a bit of black and then just whipped it down and started using some other shades. Yeah. The main critique on this one is the chain. The chain part of it, in my eyes, is letting this bit down. It's not consistent for a chain, you know, and now it would sort of like look coming across here. These
bits should be
linked over.
Right.
Yeah, they should be interlinked. It looks a bit more like and unfortunately when I say this, it looks a bit more like a string of beads than you know.
No, that makes sense with like a thick rope.
Yeah, thing. But other than that, no, it's not bad. You've tattooed it on yourself. It's not easy to tattoo yourself, especially in some spots. And how the hell you've got your leg like that and got down to it? I don't know.
Yeah. And Kitty, I wouldn't even worry about fixing it really. I mean, because again, I mean, it's on you unless it's because you can go. Sometimes you can fix something that and make it worse. You know, this looks fine, it reads fine. No one's gonna be walking down the road going like, are those links right? If they are, they're way too close to your leg. Okay, we're here and we're zooming in a little bit, right? Because we're trying to, see if there's anything we can point out that might help you out, right?
I mean, it's right. Dirty Does Ink. No, leave it. It's a journal entry. Yeah, I totally agree there. Leave it. It's something. It does. It's not an horrendous tattoo. No. So what I say is leave it, and you could add to it. You might add to it as you progress in your career, but it's also something to look back on and think, yeah, I did that. I was at this point. Look at that chain that I did there compared to what I'm doing now. Sometimes it's good to reflect back on. So don't beat yourself up too much about it. We've all been here, and even to this day now, you're going to have days where shit don't go your way, and stuff don't work out how you want it to work out. So don't beat yourself up too hard about it.
Yep. I've been thinking about tattooing Ron Swanson's face on my leg. I just gotta find a spot. I don't know what brought that up. Probably because of the leg tattoo. If you know who Ron Swanson is, and you watch Parks and Recreation, man. I don't know. He just makes me laugh. I love the character, love the role, and seeing that leg tattoo makes me think like, I wonder where I can sneak him in. Because I thought about I want to tattoo him on my own leg, but I have like stuff already there, and I don't know how. I don't know. Anyhow, just a brain spitting words out. Let's see. Kevin says, "Hey Dave, how's it going? My name is Kev. I'm hoping to become an apprentice soon, but I've been practicing on my own until then. I have maybe 60, 70 hours of practice so far and was hoping to get your honest opinion. I also know I should be working on the basics instead, LOL, lining, lettering, etc." Okay, I don't know what we're going to see here from these little thumbnails. It looks promising in some ways. And even if you smash it out of the park, definitely still go and work on those lines and stuff. Do them on the side. You can work your style, but on the side, boom, boom, boom. Work those other things. All right. Well, I like this. Jeez, man. Never mind. It looks like you've worked the lines on the side. You've worked the lines on the bottom. These are, I can't zoom in any further. I don't. It's fine. I don't
Tell
think I
you what,
necessarily need to. Wow,
I'll tell you what I'm going to jump on straight away
love all those
is
tiny little artifacts.
on the outside of this, Dave.
Sure.
That's like got the Sphinx's, you know, or Pharaoh's headdress on it. I mean, them lines, them bands that go across are goddamn, you know, pretty much, you know, bang on all the way across, you know, there,
Yeah.
and then the curving round the top of the head. And like I say, they're pretty goddamn crispy, them.
I don't know. Is this person pulling our chains here with this?
I've
Hoping
only
to
done
get. I
60, 70
also
hours of
know I
practice.
should be working on basics instead. LOL. I think for like this specific piece, I think this one lended its hand to some basics. You know, I mean, sure, maybe the long line going through. I see where you connect and whatnot, but I mean, it's not over. It's not drawing my eye in
Oh, it's
super heavy to these spots.
is
It's a
this,
little very consistent. You took your time.
yeah, Underground 401, is this your work? Because you just put, I'm not pulling your chain.
He said, "No, I'm not. No, I know you're not, man. It's more of a just saying. I like the humility and you're saying I should work on my lines more. I know, but
I mean, Dave,
but I think you're working on them. I think that they are showing true right here, even through your own
yeah.
work. I think naturally, it's going to improve over time, and just giving you a hard time, man. But
I mean,
yeah, it's looking cool.
I want to look at. He's on about lines down either side of the neck. Here, you got two long lines that run all the way down. They're pretty, from here, they're looking pretty goddamn spot on.
They are.
I mean,
they really are.
The other thing as well, you look on the outside of that headdress. It's not one straight line. It's brought it down. Bump, curve, all the way down. Is give it shape. And then we jump into all them little lines that is done through there. And I tell you now, and anybody that says any different on this chat, it's bullshit. Because to get every one of them lines and that many lines exactly the same all the way through there is total horseshit. You're never going to do it because there's too many lines close together to sort it out. But then we drop into that skull. Look at teeth. Them teeth are nice. And I like the eyes.
Yeah.
Where it's got the rich black and everything. I like this piece.
I do too, because the thing that they've done here is that we have our darks, and then we have just enough mid-tone, and then we go into our light tones, and it's breathable. The skull is separated from the rest because we have the dark around it, and then our light tones are saved for the skull bits. It's well use of their shades, and you're able to, when you can use your light tones with next to dark black, it really lends to giving you a nice contrast.
The only thing I'd say on this, like, and it's just been absolute. To be fair, it's me probably being a bit of a knob. On the left-hand side, round the headdress, you on the outside edge, you've left that little glimmer. It gives that bit of a shine, that bit of a curl. On the right-hand side, you've give no indication of any maybe light source, hitting it just for any sort of, depth. He's done it on the left-hand side, but on the right-hand side, as we look at it, it's just flat black all the way across it. Whereas if the light was coming in like that and catching it on there, surely it would catch it, especially at the top when it bends over into the forehead. But that's just me being very picky.
I could see what you're saying. I do see that the light sources, like you said, definitely coming from this side for the most part, because we have our darker shades on the skull towards the right side. And I guess if you were really to play heavily into that, you would also have a bit of a shadow on this headdress as well from the skull shadowing across. So like I said, that is the interesting about tattoos is you can kind of play with the light source and kind of be correct and incorrect all at the same time. But luckily for this one, nobody cares because it looks awesome, dude.
It does look awesome.
Let's take a look here. Oh, look at that. That's cool. That's cool. I like the definition here in the arms and whatnot, and pulling those veins out, and it definitely looks like realistic, yet with a little bit of like a style to it, a bit of a I don't know exactly what it would be, but I really like it, and I like the use of the darks. Right, it's not all just black. You've got different shades going on in here. I feel like I can grab these little tabs on his vest there. The gun looks a little bit like Play-Doh throughout here, like kind of moldy and whatnot, but I don't really care. And this, what's his name here is cool as well. I like this piece. I think it works out all right. I feel like they are a little bit like slap, and they don't really like blend to become like one piece. If this were like a tattoo design, maybe it's a little lacking, but for just two characters, I do like them. All right, let's take a look at the Tupac. Yeah, all right. I really like his shirt, dude. That's cool. I like that a lot. This has got an interesting style to it because all right, I'm not feeling this ear right here, right off the bat. That looks like it was like transplanted from a different human being and put onto the side of his face. I will say that there are some components to this one that I'm not the biggest fan of while looking at the other pieces that he did. Now, normally you'd be like, well, what's with these hard lines? But it kind of has that sort of stylish look where it can live with these hard lines and get by it. But something about his face down here just kind of looks a little pushed in. It's not quite shaped exactly. But I'd really like the bandana, though. And I like the hat. I mean, the shirt. The shirt is cool. Bandana is cool. And there's a few other things in the face that are cool. But
yeah, this
yeah.
This, do you know what this? You see, I quite like it, but you know what this gives for me? This gives portrait come illustrative, stylized effects. With having the lines and quite heavy lines in it.
Yeah,
some shading, and we know who it is. I agree with you on here. Here looks funky as God knows what, because it just seems that it's way too light, for the rest of the thing. Also, just the other bit as well, I would say, all up through the face, the shading and everything, this, that, and other, I like. Bandana, I like. Just get to top of the bandana over the top of his head, it just looks grey. They don't. It just looks grey and a little bit flat. I don't know if it's my TV or whatever, but
no, and that's the way
there would have been a little bit of shade just to give it a little bit of curvature, and it probably didn't have to be much, but it just looks, in comparison to the rest of the tattoo, it looks like it's been shaded once. Does that little top section of the head, and then just not quite being finished off. When you look at the detail that's been just in front of the ear and under the bandana lower down on his face, it's just that little bit at top.
Yeah, and I see that makes sense. It makes sense because that ear did not look like it belonged to the reference. It's from his Rose from Concrete book. There's no ear on it, so I had to wing it. There's some really cool. Look, there's a lot of cool things going on in this. There's just a few things that are throwing me off. So there's so many things you have in your arsenal that you do in here. That's super cool, man. You got it. Just keep at it. But yeah, that ear looks like it don't belong there at all. And it's good to hear that. That's because you had to add it and it wasn't in the reference, we'll call it. But maybe just put some more, if you want to go back into this piece, just, you have it already. Why not? Add a bit more depth to it, a bit more darkness, because it's super light and I don't know. It's just not reading all that great as far as the ear goes. But hey, man, fantastic job overall. Looking cool, dude.
Nice, nice work.
Yeah, you got it, Kevin. You just got to carry on. But
the first, like I said, that Pharaoh, what skull or whatever it is, it's like that was a nice piece with that. Really liked that piece.
Yeah. All right, good to go, Kevin. Thanks for that, man. David is up next. David here. I don't think there's any words. Okay, so we don't know anything about you, David, but here are your tattoos. Well, I mean, the black's pretty saturated. That's pretty consistent and smooth throughout. So that's cool. Lining's okay in some places. Got a little bit of a whip out here. I'm not a biggest fan of the design. I think this is supposed to feel like it's like coming through the skin, maybe. And if that is the case, like this is like a chunk of skin you're supposed to be able to grab right here or something. I'm not getting the feel like it's coming through the skin. It can be a tricky thing to kind of make look right. But when it comes to applying some shades and applying them and get them to like do stuff, I don't know, for lack of better words, it's all right. I don't know, Andy, what do you think? Sometimes it'd be hard to
I
put your
mean,
hand on exactly.
I'm not a particular fan of the piece as a whole, and I don't mean that as in the quality
No,
of the
you're
work.
fine, dude.
It's just very black, very dark. It screams like it's been taken from an Iron Maiden cover, and that some of the lines are in well, some of them, like you said, they're in just on borderline, a couple of little blowouts here and there when you had a quick scan down it. But overall, I mean, when you zoom away from it, Dave, if you zoom out, overall, I mean,
it's okay.
It reads, it's not an overly big toe because it's only in the centre of somebody's forearm. So it's not overly big. But
right.
At the end of the day, it is what it is. It's a bit of a just sticker tattoo, banger tattoo, whatever you want to call it. And I'm sure the person that's had this done to them is totally happy with, how it's come out.
Yeah. Yep, I think that's it. It's just, it's okay. It's okay. It's not anything out of this world. I would definitely start making sure your shading is kind of directional, moving with the flow of things. This feels a little bit like, and that little tiny thing will help a little bit. It's very contrasty. You got that, but this black is pretty open. You can really kind of see that where you have it darker close to the edges. And then you kind of sped it up here in the middle to just kind of get that black in there. Packing in black, saturating black is tedious because it's noticeable when it's not done right. These lines are a little rough, to be honest. They could definitely be smoother. And that's pretty much all you have here are lines in black. And black needs a bit more saturation. Lines need a little more consistency. Feels like you probably got a bit of the in and outs going here. Not quite got everything tuned just right yet, but it'll come. Any words on this one, Andy? When we go to
no, you pretty much covered it, Dave. It's like I say.
Oh, there you go. Some color for you, Andy.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at that little, lines out on shore, that little whip round curl, just gets a little shaky. But hey, this is fine line work. You go look at mine. I'm going to have bits of shakes here and then when you got fine line work. It just doesn't, sometimes, like we said, it just doesn't go how you want. Where I have more, like, again, maybe pulled another colour into it. And I know it's only purple shading whipped off and blue shading whipped off. Maybe just pulled another colour in. Just give your pieces a little bit more depth than step that extra mile. Get yourself some little caps. I only use them little 8mm caps, little 8 size 8s, the tinies. They take about 4 drops of colour, 5 drops of colour. So you're not putting loads out. And then from there on in, hats off that you've used three colours in the greens, 3 colours in the leaves, but you just need to work on how you blend in them colours. We've got quite stark transitions between them. And just work out on your shading technique and I don't even know how to put it, as if it's like light sourcing, with your colours, like your darks going up middle on one side, from centre vein going out to lights, and then you'll always find with a leaf that then on the opposite side, if you start with your darker on the outside at the top, then work it around, they all just seem to look that little bit better. But it's just things just to work on, and that it's just a bit of colour saturation, a bit of colour theory.
Right on. All right, next up we got Bradley. Let me go ahead and tell you guys, give us wait a second, no, don't get whatever. Okay, fine, whatever. Just give a stream a like, guys, support it. I think I'm still gonna be safe here, Andy.
And if you've the 46 people that are in, if you want to text all your mates and that, just tell them to jump on, give stream a like and then jump back out, we'd much appreciate it. Just need to get to 100, or slam it on your Instas that we're here and we need 100 likes. They've only got to drop in. They've only got to drop in, slam us a like, and then drop back out. It's only going to take them a few seconds.
Oh man, Andy, you're killing me, man. We had 4. We need 41, I think.
But
I still think I'm safe, man. I still think that I'm going to be fine.
But there's 46 watching, and if them 46 got one of the mates just to drop on, every 46 got just one of the mates just to drop on, or the wife, or the partner, or even your kids. Go with your kids up. They've got YouTube channels. You know what I mean? Just get them a drop a like on. It's all sorted. And
people just tuning in are like, what are they talking about?
And this is what happens when, like I say, last Thursday night, and then I knew exactly in your house what was happening anyway, Dave. Last Thursday night, you were upstairs, linked on bed like that.
I was at it up on the big screen. I was laying in bed. I was just messaging away at you.
You're chilling out. You're chilling out on bed with your feet up, while Alicia's downstairs running around after kids, sorting them out for school, sorting this out, sorting that out, and you're going, God, yeah, Alicia, I've had a really hard day. I just need to go upstairs and chill out.
Right. No, you was right. You was right. Yeah. She jumped on and caught me hanging out on the stream there.
Yeah, that's just a man thing.
It is. See, all right. Moving on. We got Brandon Kelly here. Hey, thank you for everything you do again. I really love your content. I started in October. I sent a design a while back, which I'll include to jog your memory. Thank you. But hopefully you can let me know if I'm making improvements. I appreciate you sending in that piece to jog our memories, because I truly can't. Is this the one I'm supposed to? Maybe it was this one. Maybe it was that one. Maybe it's that one. Oh, I'm trying to find the one that's supposed to jog our memory. Maybe it's this one.
Yeah, I've seen this one.
Yeah, I think it was this one.
Yeah, because this one bad. Because
we saw that there was a lot of potential there, you know. Okay, so we'll jump to this one here. Man, I gotta say, I like the lining looks pretty stinking crisp.
Yeah, good line weight.
Yeah, that's solid. Yeah, it's pretty much the same line weight, it appears to me, throughout the whole thing. But, I mean, really smooth. I don't see any blowouts. Consistent saturation on the knee. Yeah, I think it looks good.
Yeah, good. That skin over that knee is not an easy place to tattoo.
Yeah.
By any means. I can see a couple of little places that the lines have probably been gone over again and touched in, and they're just a little bit fatter. But for all intents and purposes, this is pretty crisp for the area that it's in. You look at that bee, the antennas are the same, everything over it, the body, the wings are the same, the honeycomb looks well, the two little flowers, and it's set out well, it's presented well.
Yeah.
So that's as much. Other than that, I'm going to leave it at that, because with the presentation and the symmetry and how it's done, you've done a good job. You've done a good job for what you presented.
Now this one leaves a little less exciting. Yes. The reds seem pretty solidly saturated, so that's good. I'm just not feeling how you have this sort of black fade now. I know you into this traditional style. Yeah, you want to get those rake marks. They add to the styling of it, but you got to have saturated black. If you don't have the black saturated, boom, 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 then a little whip out at the end there. And I really don't want to speak a lot about traditional work, because a lot of people just assume, it's traditional work, it's easy. It's not really the case. And even speaking on it, I can't really say a whole lot, because I don't really know. I don't look at a lot of it. You know, it's not in my repertoire of even in my brain of what it's supposed to look like. But I can tell you, it doesn't have these like grays, all that. This does not look like this. And I know you know how to saturate colors, because that red saturated, that yellow is pretty well saturated. These light tones are saturated. However, it's just that black would be the main thing Again, I don't have a lot of notes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things that's screaming on this. You've copped it. This should have been saturated black. That's the biggest faux pas on this one. That black should have been such saturated, absolutely super solid, bulletproof, saturated black on this. Then moving away from that, the leaves, the greens in the leaves. I don't know whether it's the picture, the angle, or whatever. The greens in the leaves. You're using two greens, and yes, the leaves are a lot darker on one side, but on the other side, I would have said from the shade that you've used, you should have used a shade lighter, which would have made them pop a little bit more. And the other thing, the reds seems to be all but be in there. Could have gone up. There's a couple of holidays in it. Could have gone up to lines. But the other thing with the red on the tips of the flowers follows the shape of the end of the petals. And in some areas you've tried it, some areas it just goes rounded over,
Right.
And they're all different. They would all be symmetrical. They would all be the same throughout that, because this is traditional, neo-traditional, but American, whatever you want to call it, or whichever style. But them colours should have been super saturated, solid black, and just definitely follow the ends of your petals and pack that red in.
I definitely agree. Just want to say hi to Joey in the chat. Hey man, I'm sure you saw it, Andy, but that last piece you did, Joey, banger, man. That was so freaking smooth, man. So smooth. Oh, nice, dude. Nice. Just like
Dave,
what's up?
I want to know why we've just jumped up to 89 likes.
No way. Get out of here.
On my screen, it says 89 likes.
Oh, no, it doesn't. You're both. Okay, it says 65. Okay. I was like, no, 85. That's too attainable. Oh, okay. All right. No problem, Joey, man. Good stuff, dude. It's awesome. It's improving. I mean, it looks better than your work did before. And I thought it was fantastic before. So, man, awesome stuff, dude. Hey, I like this, though. This is cool, saturated, man. It's solid. I feel like maybe could blend this out a little bit, but I don't know if that's the style he's going for. But yeah, I like it a lot.
It's a nice.
It's a good one, Andy. Okay,
it's a nice girly piece.
I'll jump to the next one then. If we both agree it's good, I don't want to waste too much time on it. Yeah, this is nice as well. We got a few blowouts here. A little bit right in here, a little bit there, tiny bit right there, and a little bit over there. But aside from those spots in the triangle, it's kind of cool, man. I'll bet this person really liked this tattoo. You get away with having a lot of open areas because we got these black sort of like texture marks throughout. It's a bit quite stylized. I think this works. And minus a few little blowouts here and there, but they're not super noticeable. That one a little bit, but the rest I think you can get away with. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
No, it's all right. I'm just looking at somebody's popped a message on there.
You're good. I'm gonna jump to the next piase here.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking. I think my work's stuck in the unread section from 2 weeks ago. If your work didn't manage to make the live 2 weeks ago, we don't go back. We only take the work each week from when Dave's notification says that we're about to go live. We don't go back and resubmit, unfortunately. Otherwise, we'd never get anywhere. You've got to submit your work week by week.
That's
it's just the only way that we can do it. Otherwise, people will be sending in all week long to Dave, and we'd be so far behind, so far weeks behind. You just gotta, unfortunately, when Dave puts a notification out that we're going live, is to send your work in.
Yes, it is correct. And and if we don't get to it, unfortunately, we don't start back where we ended. We just got to be back here in time to to get it seen again. I'll send you a pic of it healed on a dark skin, but we still pushed. We still pushing. Nothing wrong with outside criticism. I'm just trying to. I think
that was without the snake and the rose on the dark skin.
Okay. Okay. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. Just so people know I'm reading, it says, "Ah, I ain't gonna worry about none of that nonsense." Okay, I'll send you a pic of it healed on dark skin. But yeah, we still pushing. Nothing wrong with outside Absolutely, there's nothing wrong with outside criticism. Take it
They're
all with
in.
a grain of salt. It's your body of work. You do your thing. And yeah, we'd love to see it healed. Um, yeah, and I think it's just good in general, so people can see something healed and fresh. But I still stand by what we said about it. I don't think there's anything wrong with having opinion other than the person's. It is what it is. All right, let's finish this particular piece off here. And I don't think this is too bad. There's a couple spots we had to go over, double bang a line here and there. But all in all, the circles there, we get a little light line up here. So you want to kind of keep an eye out for those. The stipple shading you have here works out okay. Gets a little monotone in the flower and whatnot, but it's not an overly complicated piece. Same over here. You didn't butcher these curves. That's, you got to nail those curves at least like 90% for that thing to work out. And I think you got those. Same down here. Looks nice. Shading's well. It's not overly done, simplistic. Yeah, I think this works out just fine, in my opinion. It can be
Yeah.
improved upon, but overall, it's fine.
Overall, like I say,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and like you say, especially on the left hand side, they haven't butchered the curves on the crescent moon, and then you come down the face, you've got the nose for what it is. It looks nice. The lips are nice on it. That little bit of cloudage, the curves, the circles, and everything, pretty nice. That's for me. That's better. That's executed better than the right hand leg. Like you said, there's a couple of double bang lines, line wake, bit of an issue in places on this one, and it's a little bit monotonal, but going in right direction. Just make sure, just keep just something that if you see anything like that, just to keep an eye on what you'd been better off doing on the right hand side, if especially with the pointy parts. If you've had to thicken the lines up on one of your points, go around and do it on all of your points. You don't have to do it on the wavy parts. You could just thicken all your lines up on your points, so then it looks like it's deliberately done, and we wouldn't have really picked up on it then. Just something to keep an eye on.
Definitely.
And watch out for.
Overall, look good, Brandon. Looking good. Kitty, I think you did say disregard if we saw it again. Hey, but you added this strawberry, so watching right now. Meow, loving it. I don't know why I had to. Okay. Hopefully these go through. I was like, dang it, you got me. He'll read anything. Yeah, this is pretty cool. It's not huge. I imagine it's probably on you again. Color seems saturated. The line work is pretty straightforward. I even like the tiny little bit of other green you added in there, just a little touches. It looks like you probably added this white right over top of the red. I think that's why it kind of has that pinkish look. Try to leave an open space. I could be wrong, but that's what it appears you did. See how the white in the teeth looks like it held a little better. But when you try to put white over top of a color, it don't work as good. So try to leave a little space if you know there's going to be a highlight.
Instead of using white in the leaves, where they tried to highlight with white.
Oh, it is. They did the same up there.
Yeah, what I'd say is use a golden yellow. If you're going to do something like that, just leave that little bit of space free, like Dave says, instead of coloring up to line on that side. Try using a golden yellow instead of a white. It'll just make that leaf pop a little bit further. But as Dave says, white over top of colour, it's never comes out same.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I've watched videos on YouTube of people putting white in over colour and it goes in bang on, and every time I try it, it looks like crap.
That's like, I never quite understand when people and I know I probably hear people much smarter than me telling me otherwise, but with this whole blacking out body parts and then blasting white over it, I mean, there's people that were, there's so much contradicting stuff in the tattoo world that I was mind blown when I hear people saying like it's totally fine, but people would say all the time like, oh, you can't cover that up with white. If you put white over top of a color, it's gonna be gone. Blah blah. So, but we could put white over top of saturated black. I mean, I think the people that know that it's going to be several sessions to get that white to kind of shine through. And somebody I remember in the past was saying, yeah, you can add several sessions of white over top of an old tattoo to help cover it up, right? Which is not, it's an old school thing to do. It's not the best idea. But everybody would always say, no, you can't do that. You're going to hurt the skin. You go over the same area with white too many times. It's going to scar up and mar the skin. But here we are doing blackout sleeves or blackout stuff, and we're going over it with white several times, but no one's saying anything about the possibility of that many times over the same areas with white not scarring it up. Yeah, we're letting it heal in between sessions, but again, I don't know. I don't do it. But, I see that when it's done and it's fresh, it looks pretty good. But I just imagine how much time, how many more sessions until that's in there, and what is it ultimately doing to the skin at the end of the day. Just my opinion. I don't think it's the greatest thing. We'll probably look back on it and say, maybe this wasn't the greatest idea. But again, what do I know? Brian Moulton, just looking for some suggestions, guys. Thanks. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, it's hard to kind of tell from these photos. I mean, to be honest, the lining doesn't look bad. I can see where, lines were connected. It's not out of this world to see those connection marks. I mean, it might be put in some spots. It kind of looks like it might have been drilled a little harshly. But again, if it's fresh and the photo hits these spots in just the right way, it can be tricky. Now, the black, as it blends up, I think this is where you could capitalize for sure. Maybe just give it a little bit more black and make sure the black is like really well saturated and right up to the line, and then start fading it a little bit. And then at the end, work on your lightest fade out so it's a little bit smoother. We all know that when that heals, it is definitely going to soften out a bit. Anyhow, that would be it. I would try to carry this up more. You cut it off right here. Maybe try to get it a little bit higher. That would be my personal suggestion. But as you can see, it's just kind of patchy here. Like you can really see it here. We got dark, blending up. It gets a little patchy. We got to work on those blend outs. Down here, I think we got a little bit of a blowout. We'll let that go just for the sake of looking at the piece. Your line work is not horrible by any stretch of the imagination. Overall, it's not too bad. This is pretty good size, so it's not like we're doing dainty stuff here. I do prefer minus this section right here. This is better. What's the word? Betterly done? Done better down here. That's my opinion, Andy. I don't know if you got any thoughts and opinions on it.
Yeah, I mean, the top one and some of that black looks a little overworked, I'll be honest.
Right.
The solid black, especially right at the beginning. Is at the end, right at the beginning, at the bottom of it. And the transitioning out just needs to learn just to feather this out, and grade it out. Whether you've tried doing it all with black, I don't know, but you may be better off you getting yourself a 50% tone as well to run this out. It might have worked better for you. Line work, it's not the best, but it's in there. Just a couple of things you've got to figure out. It's just, you can see where in a couple of places where you've put down, picked up, and you've just been slightly off your line, and you just got that slight waver and slight extra thickness in areas, and that. So you just need to work out on your smoothness. The bottom one, again, like you say, there's some single line work in there, which ain't too bad, but it's not the greatest. We have got a couple of blowouts. Just needs to work on his smoothness and his gradation throughout the pieces.
Yeah.
But, like I say, I suppose you're learning, and that it's something that can be fixed. You could go in with a round shader and go over all this lot, and get rid of a lot of it, to be fair, and then just reshade it. Once it's healed, you could reshade over top. Even to the point that if you didn't want to go any further up, you could use blacks and some true greys and just go back over it, and you'd smooth it out a lot. So not all's lost. There is a couple of things to work on, a couple of things to watch for. Especially you pick up and put downs. And work on your fluidity, on your single line work. Make sure you've got your hands in the right place, your machine in the right place, your skin stretched properly, and that you can get down without being into it and trying to don't try to push the extent of how far you can draw that line without being uncomfortable.
Yeah. Good to go. Good to go. For some reason, it seems like Sunday evening I get a bit more conversations here. Daniel Carson, hey, I sent some stuff a couple months ago and wanted to send some more stuff. All right. I do remember. Wow, yeah, I like that. That's cool. It is dark, but it's cool. Like I like it's it's not choppy, it's smooth as far as the blend outs. The lining is nice. The white is bold, and if I think this is who I think it is, this is how they do their white. And I spoke on it before, but I like it. I like it. Let's check out the next one. Oh yeah. This is cool too. Really, really smooth. It has this sort of style to it. It's not meant to be like 100% realistic. It's got some line weight in it. I definitely like it. I like your use of whites, really pop out the parts of the eyes. The ear feels a little flat to me, but you know what? It doesn't look like it's finished anyhow. So I guess you could always go back in there and shape that out a little bit more if it matters to you. You know what I mean? Again, all is take it with a grain of salt. Any thoughts on this one, Amy? Jump to the next one.
No, it's like I say, it's very, very stylized. With the lines and the crisp lines in and the smooth shading, and it is what it is. It's a couple of places maybe be smoothed out a little bit, but it's just a very, very stylized type of piece. But it still reads, and it doesn't read bad, to be fair.
I agree. Cool stuff, man. Yeah. I like this guy's use, Daniel. I like his use of darks with those light tones, different shading things. The finger here has got me a little confused. Trying to think here. Yeah, that finger mainly has got me. But aside from the finger, I really like this piece. Overall, I've seen consistency in your style, and it's fun to look at.
Yeah. It likes to work dark. No, like I say, it likes to work dark. This person.
Yeah.
That finger is a bit funky.
Right.
You can tell what mask it has got them ridges in, even though it is dark. It's got some nice directional, shading. Looking at them lines coming through the top of there, they look to be in super solid and crisp. And a nice line weight, run through that hair at the top. But yeah, it's not a bad piece, not a bad piece at all.
Nice. Let's see what the next one is. Yeah. Okay. Not bad. Little hummingbird down on the leg. Pretty consistent with everything else we've seen. But when you see the other cool ones, you get to this one, it's also cool. It's just the other ones were a little bit cooler. You can only do what you can do with what the tattoo is, right? You can only make it so cool, if you will. I think you did pretty good on that one.
Yeah, nice little piece. It's got all its tones and shades in it.
Yeah. Nice job, man. Thanks for sending those in. Let us take a look at them. All right. Just did this earlier today on my leg. Okay. All right. Andy, I'm going to use the restroom real quick. And
again, first off, I wish you would take pictures without the second skin on. It's nice to see that you're using it, but what I would say, it's really hard to read a tattoo properly through the second skin. So where we'll start with this is some of the line work. We can see it's not the best in places, to the point we've got lines that are slightly overlapping lines, especially on leaves near the top. You can see where ribs on leaves just poke out edge at leaf. Some of the lines on the leaves where you've gone over, your line weight's not consistent, but you could have got away with a fatter line weight on your outside of this. and using lighter line weights further in, but you can just see where you put down, picked up the leaf at the top that's just shaped like this. The line weight on it's quite heavy compared to the leaf next to it, and they're in places the lines look hesitant because they're not massively long lines to pull, so that you should be able to get your grip in, get your stretch, and really just pull that line in a swoop. Job done. Reposition yourself, pull, you send another one. The other thing as well is we don't know what machine you're using. We don't know what stroke you're using. We don't know what needles you're using. We don't know voltage or anything. Are you using a swash drive? Generally going to weight softer, so you might have to up your voltage, run it, or a direct drive, got a little harder punch, 3mm, 3.5 or whatever. We don't know your setup, but from what I'm looking at on here, there's a few lines that have been gone over a few times, and as we say, your line weights are off in comparison to other areas, and this is the thing that you're going to have to watch out for. I don't know what your end game is for this piece. Are you going to stipple shade it? Are you going to colour it? Is it going to be black and grey? And that, but like I say, I think you just need a little bit more work on getting your clean lines and your pick up and your put downs when you're doing these lines. And what about you? I don't know about you, Dave.
Yeah, no, I was listening in the bathroom. It sounded pretty consistent throughout. I don't think I have anything to add to it, to be honest with you. I think you pretty much nailed that one. And like you said, though, I've done it a few times, and rarely, it's usually after I open my mouth and say something about it, and then I usually would just brain fart, especially after like a long 6-7 hour session. Sometimes it's only happened like twice. I'll put the second skin on or the recovery derm, and then I'll forget, like, oh, I forgot to take a photo. So there's a few I'm waiting for them to heal so I can get a photo of them.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll do it like tomorrow now since I opened my mouth and said something about it. But yeah, other than that.
You missed one?
That was another one. You can tell that there's nothing there.
All right.
Oh,
there is.
Oh, I guess this time we were wrong. Oh, this is Christopher, which thank God you said something, Andy, because his were the ones that weren't coming through before.
Yeah.
No, you saved him. Dave, sorry, put them in. But look how they come. Like normally they have these little red things next to them, because if they don't,
Yeah,
it usually means they forgot to attach them. So, whew. Sorry, put them in my phone, so I guess that way it doesn't work so well. Here are the original images. Would love to give your opinion. Yeah, cool. Just keep swimming. Love, Aunt Regina. Yeah, okay. It's not tiny, but it's not large.
And I'm assuming that Love Aunt Regina is either taken out of a card, off a tag, or anything. So you can't, and I've done loads of these, so I'm not even going to comment on it, because the thing is, even all the ones that I've done, from a tattoo artist point of view, they look garbage, but that's exactly how they're taken, off the card or anything. So it's unfair to critique that part. It's it's done, it's dusted. The Just Keep Swimming looks like a normal font. And it looks
does look like a normal font. It just looks like it's a bit inconsistent, though,
yes.
you know? And it is small, but it's not tiny, you know what I mean? It's not tiny, and this is a forearm, so there's some space there to tune this up, right? I mean, you got to here and then bust it out like a 3-round line or something, got in there and really tuned it up a bit. As it stands, it's not wrecked, but
I've done this. I've actually used this font loads and loads of times, and it's like you say, it is supposedly a typewriter font.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing with this font is you can actually do this font down to minute and use a 008, and it'll still, as long as you steady away with it, it will come out looking right, because it's just a clean font. There's nothing fancy to it or anything, so it's just a clean font. This font doesn't look good big, it looks smaller, but like you say, the spacing and the gapping between the letters is off, and it should be, because it's a typewriter font, it should be symmetrical, you know, all the way through the best it can. But I'm sure the person went away, so we say happy.
Definitely. Yep, they're probably not noticing all these little things, but I mean, I don't know. Even from here, I can kind of see a bit more of them. And choosing a font is a big thing, and that type of font leaves room for error when you're not, you know.
Oh, he's on. That was done with a one round liner. Well, I'll tell you now, for a one round liner, because I won't use a one round liner, I'd have probably used a 10-3. I'd probably use a 10-3 for that. Found that you just up your machine, use a 10-3, just up your machine a little bit, and just run your hand a bit slower, and it'd have gone in super crisp, mate. It'd have gone in super crisp.
Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at this particular piece. And you know what's cool? They do actually have like second skin on here. This looks kind of like recovery derm. I don't know. That's the one I use, and it has this sort of like, if in the right way, you can't see that it's there, but you can tell it does. But luckily enough, it's put on well. It's clear. We can see what it is. I think it's pretty cool. I think what would have helped this piece out a lot would be a little more value in your shades. It has some. It's just could have given it a little more depth with a little bit more darkness in certain spots, and smoothing out in a few other spots, like right through here a bit is a bit chunky. You could have smoothed that out a little bit more after the fact. Even if the line got a little botched away from you, could have smoothed that out a bit more. I think overall the tattoo is pretty cool. I'm sure the person's pretty happy with it if that's what they wanted.
I'm all the way. I quite like it. I like this piece. I quite like it for not being over dark. I quite like it for being a little bit light, if you understand what I mean, Dave.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm sure the person's happy with it. A couple of little things like Dave's pointed out, but they're just minor details, just some as you go on in the future, just to keep your eye on. But other than that, yeah, not bad work, man. Not bad work at all.
Yep. Super cool, man. Like I said, a little more black would have been key. Let's see. You know, these lines look pretty consistent for the most part. They're a bit thick, but they work. There's a couple little thin, a little light as far as saturated through there, and a little bit there, but works out. That thumbnail is backed up a little bit, so it's not right on top of the tip there, like we've seen before. Red looks pretty good, huh? Not bad.
See, I don't know. It just looks a little off. Does the line work on it? And I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's because it's raised, and brought up, off the skin.
Right. Oh, I see. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's client to client. There's no rhyme or reason, and anybody that tells you these are rhyme or reason, they're talking shit. They're talking out of their ass. It's all down to do with cellulite. There's a lot of the raising up of the skins when you're pulling lines.
Yeah.
But just for me, just look a little bit ragged some of the lines and that, and I don't know. I'm just not right sure. I just can't put my finger on it. I'm just not right sure.
I know, man. That sometimes is just the toughest. Is we really can't put your finger on it. It's like it's pretty dang. It's close, but it could be better, but I don't know exactly. Maybe it's the line weight.
No, it's just put up thing. As Christian, she puffed. So I'm assuming that when you say she puffed up, she swelled up around the lines. There's no rhyme or reason to how it's done. I usually find that, like I said, inside of arms on some people, thighs, especially inside of thighs, what I'd call in more baby skinned areas, tender areas, seem to do it. But it's all down to things, cellulite and molecular shite in skin and that makes it do it. Don't take it if anybody's trying to tell you that you're running your machine too hard, you're too deep, or all like that. Just tell them to go piss off because they're talking out of their ass. Because I've done it running at 5 volts and they still do it. You can just put a dot in them and they'll swallow. So there's no actual rhyme or reason to that.
Absolutely. And it could be that location too. That's like inner bicep tends to get, yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't know. It's not really loving these ones all that much.
No, they're not.
Yeah, go ahead, Andy. Go ahead, man.
They're not very well done, these, I'll be honest. Line work's very scratchy on these, not very consistent. It's not very well put in. Same with it. You can see it, especially on the L. You look at the L on the Lovers, it's really, really lightly put in. Then we move across blacks within the skulls, art black. There's a lot of holidays in them. The one on the other side, the lines look to be a little bit darker, but again, the blacks aren't quite in. There seems to be a lot of purple left on that, stencil wise. And if that's the case, looking at that stencil, there could have been more shading put in leaves, more shading put in flowers and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I would say there's quite a few faults on this, from your line work through to your shading, through to the finished aesthetic of the piece. For me, they'd be coming back for me to sort some of this stuff out, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree with everything that you pretty much had to say there. Even the black's not even saturated. So yeah. This is a bit rough, man. This is a bit rough. Very lackluster. Lines are in and out. But hey, all right, let's assume that's the first one you did. Then you did that one.
Yeah.
Hey, this one, I know you said that you agree the client's probably gonna have to come back. They might need to darken it up a bit. They want it darkened up now. Great. It's a learning process. Learn from it. You got what it takes. Take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, this one's, just if it comes back at this stage in your career, you do everything you can to fix it. You do everything you can to make it right, make the client happy. You're in that stage where you're going to crack some eggs, some of them aren't going to be as good, so do the best you can. Frederick, I've sent work in before. This first one should jog the memory. Second one, I completely lost myself and got my tones all messed up. Last one is my most recent. I never know which direction. All right, we're going to call this one the first. Yeah, that's chewed up pretty bad there. I don't know which order we're going in here. This, I'm going to say, is probably the first one. What do you say about it? All right, is this one supposed to? No, I think this is the one he sent in before. This one looks more familiar. I don't know which is which. We're just going to have to comment on them all. Yeah, not bad. The lines don't touch where they're supposed to touch in a lot of these places. Some lines aren't really all there. You got to take your time when you're punching in every one of these lines. Every line really matters in this. It feels like we're kind of missing one down there. These are really kind of scratched together there. You can see where some lines are a bit thicker and some lines aren't quite saturated. We definitely got this stimpling look going on, but it's not really. It's reading more textury than simply. I don't know how to describe that.
Go
ahead, Andy.
It's very. It's in between shaded cum texture, dot work. It's a little bit mismatched. Couple of little lines that aren't joined up, and this, that, and other. But hey, it's on whatever it's
practice skin, right?
Practice skin. This is quite dark.
Yeah, I think the lining matches up a bit better here, huh?
Yeah. But like I say, it's just a little bit dark. Again, I think this person's done the same thing. I'm doing a tattoo. I've got to fill it all completely with ink.
Yeah, exactly.
No, learn to leave.
Open, let it breathe.
Yeah.
Yep. And then here, I definitely see that their shading is smoothed out a lot. It looks like they might be using a true grays or maybe some whitewash grays or something like that. Or it just has a different appearance. But the spot that's rough is right through here. You can kind of see where that fake skin's a bit chewed up, it appears. Where you probably if this was on human skin, it'd be really chewed up if you're overworking fake skin. So I think that I like the shades. I like that you're letting this breathe a little bit. If this isn't black, I would use some of that black and give it a little bit more contrast by punching some in back here and a little back here. So that way that dark tone doesn't end up being your darkest tone throughout. You can use black as your darkest and then use this, hopefully that makes some sort of sense. But yeah, improvement for sure. Just be easy, man. Look, get it in on the first couple. Don't be too much. All right. You skipped bent motion.
Yeah, you skipped bent motion.
Oh, thanks for saying something because as Andy can attest to, I do that more often than not. All right, bent motion. Okay, all right, got it. Thank you. Bent motion. So I have only done 4 tattoos and never touched fake skin. So you've done 4 tattoos, never touched fake skin. Okay, just spent a bunch of money and jumped right into it. Okay, with a lot of confidence. Okay, I have big shoulders, so I can take the honestly and appreciate it. The skull and rose still needs shade. Okay, all right. Okay, let's see what we got. The good thing about this moon, I will say though, is it was smart to kind of make it one of these sort of jaggedy skull-like moons, because then, you're not forced to try to pull these perfectly curved lines. Some of these lines aren't bad though. I'll give you that. Some of them aren't bad.
They're not so bad. I mean,
no.
Where it seems to suck more is your dark packing of black. You're not dark packing.
Yeah.
You've still got. It's like, which I'm going to point at screen, but no. Your black's not black from your shading.
Yeah.
Right up the edges. It's like a washed out black. If you're going to punch black in, punch it in, whip it out, punch it in, whip it out. You know what I mean? And then shade out from there. But I'm probably going to say that's probably on this piece. That'll be my main critique, is that your black's not black and it's nowhere near black. Like over them tops of them teeth, in between them teeth where it should be black, and there should be some areas of black and some areas of shading. Your black is not black, and that is what is letting that piece down. But as Dave says, smart move. You're not running on smooth lines. It's jaggedy lines, so not too bad.
Yep, absolutely. A little black throughout these crevices and whatnot. Sure, the shading could get a little bit smoother, but you know what? We're moving on.
Can I just, before you move on, Chris has just jumped. Is it Chris?
Yeah.
Is it Chris? I'm not going to spell his name wrong. Sajik. Chris, I appreciate. I sent you a message. I've sent my details over, mate, and I do appreciate you sending me them cams and pulling me out of a great big hole, my friend. I know we've been talking on Instagram, and you were right. And I've let everybody know about ambitions after sales. It's just batting backwards and forwards, and trying to get oaks done is just like pulling teeth. But I do appreciate what you've done for me, mate. Thank you very much.
Okay. Oh, now we're on to this particular piece here, and I seem to think kind of very similar to the last one. It's very black. It's lacklustering in the black department. It needs more depth. The lines are okay. They need improvement, though, especially when we're talking about these longer lines, right? As you move forward, you're going to want to get these a little bit smoother. But considering you've not done any fake skin work, that might help just getting more comfortable with your hand or whatnot, if that's something you're willing to take the time to do. Yeah. And shading as well. It feels very tonal, like you're kind of stuck in just a few, and it's a bit patchy throughout. Black's not quite saturated all the way. And find those spots to put the black. Find those spots to give yourself open contrast or open areas and dark areas. Let's see. What does Joey say? He says, this work is okay. Like you guys said, the black's not black, which makes the tattoo, I missed it, look flat. Go to use more values and imagine a light source. Bingo, right? If you know where you want your light source to come from, it can easily help you decide, well, if that's there and light's hitting there, then there should be some dark there. And that should be black probably in a lot of those places where there's no light, because you only get light when you have darkness and vice versa. And that's pretty much the big thing here, because I think you're
Well,
getting there. You're definitely going in the right direction. Just need to work on those tones.
yeah, I mean, what I will give him, I mean, I'm looking at some of these lines and some of these curved lines and the longer curved lines. I can see that, and I know I said it in the thing, but I can actually see that there is confidence there pulling these lines, because we've seen some that they look like the hexagons instead of a curved line, but these are quite good curved lines round the helmet, over the top of the helmet. The lines aren't as crisp as what they could be, and that will come, but the actual curve and the confidence of pulling, getting over there and pulling it in one swoop where they can, seems to be there. But like we said, you can tell that you've not had much practice per se in packing blacks, smooth shading, and this, that, and other. But this is all going to come in time. This is all going to come with practice. And this is, unfortunately, in tattooing, this is just something that you've got to deal with. You have got to go through them motions in order to put out a bulletproof tattoo. Where you gone, Dave? We've lost all audio.
Oh yeah, that was literally me accidentally forgetting to unmute myself. I just gave an entire critique. Man, it sucks you all missed it.
Well, that's all right. It's all right. You're going to give it again because I've got blood of a peanut tonight. Okay. So you just run through that. I'll be back again.
All right. Yeah, no, guys. The same thing's kind of going to go here, though. The line work still needs a bit of work, but it's great to see. I mean, it's not great to see. A lot of times we encourage people to use fake skin, get that out of the way. But for tattoos, and we're looking at them, and that's it. You definitely did approach this with a lot of confidence, and overall, it's not bad when you look at it through that window, or through that lens. And if this is the first 4, I have no doubt that moving forward over time, it's going to improve immensely. But just looking at this tattoo and what you presented, I can tell you're taking your time, right? You have to be taking your time. All these little lines, while not perfect, I can tell you you see it a lot in a lot of these pieces where people are on skin a little early, they're just boom, 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 real quickly, and they're super, super scratchy. These are at least in there. You need to get more comfortable making these curves, right? Following that stencil, keeping the depth just the same, hearing the skin break, feeling the skin vibrate with the stretching hand. I like that most of them are saturated pretty well. And I believe that when you go back through and shade this out and whatnot, using more depth and a good light source, it won't be so noticeable. But you got some stuff to work on here. We got some stuff to work on. And again, I would try using maybe some different line weights as well. That might be more fun at also. So maybe around the outside of the skull, depending on the style, and who it is. But you might be able to get away with using a thicker round shader to just give you a bit more styling around some things, right? Maybe even the rose. It's up to you. Maybe these little flowers, right? And then keep it smaller, the line weight you currently have, on the inside of stuff. And that can help with the eye. It's more pleasing sometimes depending on the situation. But I will say it looks like you're definitely going in a positive direction, even though you've jumped some things I would normally say you should probably do. And if you can get the time to do so, I would highly encourage you to. If you can, it's hard once you've been on skin to humble yourself and go, you know what? All right, I'm going to go grab some fake skin. And it's not saying that you're doing horrible on human skin. It's just practice. Why not? It's like if you only dribble the ball when you were in a basketball game and you happen to do pretty good at it, that's good. But you might as well dribble at home too, in the backyard where it's not as fun or whatever. Actually, I wouldn't do it in the backyard. I'd obviously do it on pavement. But anyhow, bent motion, man, you're going in the right direction, dude. Take your time, slow it down a little bit. Get some dark in there, figure out those light tones, hone those lines. Yeah. But it's doing, you're doing it. And don't be afraid to have some fake skin at home and monkey around with that. Doesn't mean it's like you can't tattoo skin. It just means there's other things there that you could work some issues out on. All right. Hi, this is my latest work. A hug from Mexico. Heck yeah. Hug back to you in Mexico, my friend. Yeah. All right. Right off the bat, I think it's pretty cool. However, the one thing that's bugging me is that this moon is only exists in the background shading between the like ears. When I first look at this, I was like, "Oh, I like the nose. I love that light, like smooth down through here." But then I saw, what is this? It looked like he had like this big hat on or a hood over his head, and then I realized, oh, that's a moon and whatnot. Looks like you got a little bit rushed towards the top. Maybe the client was hurting because this is a bit scratchy in comparison to a bit more smoothness throughout here. So I would definitely just try to stay consistent. And then if we took this black and just brought it a little bit out on the sides, that would have like sold me more on the fact that it being a moon in a dark background. Um, but because most of this I do like. I like this lighter shading here. We got a decent light hitting it. I like the little glow we have on these pyramids down here. It's not bad. It's not too bad. Let's take a look at the lines. Yeah, where there's lines, they're not too bad either. But definitely, again, once you're done with that piece, take a photo of it and think, what could I darken up? What could I push deeper into the crevices? And then go back in, put a little bit extra black there. But I think this is all right. I just would wish you would have taken a little extra time in a few spots.
Yeah, just smooth some of that. Like I said, when you're done, then just stand back, looking and think, well, can I put a bit more dark in? Is there anywhere I need to smooth out? Or, and like I said, a couple of places on these that shading could have done, we've been probably a little bit smoother. But you're going to figure it out. You're going to get there. But I think and it's got black in it, but I think a little bit more solid black in a few areas and have just, brought this forward and backwards a little bit more. But like you say, that moon, it just looks like he's got some sort of orb in between his horns at top, rather than it being a moon. But like
easy,
I say,
easy fixable stuff here, right?
Yeah, it can be fixed.
Yeah. Yep. But hey, man, Orlando Rojas, bud, you going in the right direction. Just a few little things you probably already know. I mean, if a person comes back, try to hook them up with just a little extra in that background there. All right, the last one, and we have gone for 3 hours and 22 minutes because today I decided I'm gonna get to all of them because I didn't see you guys. Was I here? We were here last Sunday, weren't we?
We were here last Sunday, and then we were here Thursday. No, we were on mine on Thursday.
Yeah, why do I feel like?
You weren't on mine on Thursday, were you? You were in chat though.
yeah, but the week prior to that, we did 2 live for a test on my channel.
That's right.
Yeah, it's getting confusing, but all right. So I don't know why I felt the need to. Hey, whatever. I don't know. I definitely is recognizable. I know who it is, and it has this sort of like sketched on paper feel.
Yeah,
like but aside from that, I feel like it kind of misses it because the lines aren't quite there. The shading's a little not so there, Yeah. Go ahead, Andy.
No, like I said, it's like it gives me that effect. When somebody does a quick reference pencil sketch,
Yeah.
Take on later, and we can tell it. And do you know something? I quite like them types of sketches, so I'm quite actually into this. Not that I'd wear it, but as an art piece on a piece of fake skin, I quite like the effect that it's had. I wouldn't wear it, and somebody wouldn't want it as a tattoo because they'd want a bit more depth in it. They want a bit more smoothness, and definition in areas. But if I was going to have a piece that I'd hang up on my wall or I'd just keep to one side, I actually in a weird way, quite like this piece. I just like the effect of it.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. I like that idea of it. I mean, because all those things seem to be mostly in the right spot. The eye feels a little bit off, but again, it could be because it's a bit of a sketchy style I would like to see this style reformed. Yeah, what is it? Refined a little bit.
Yeah.
Leave the sketchy feel, but maybe just a little bit more skill put into how the tattoo's made. This, what are we looking at? Okay, this looks like an AK-47 with a very odd magazine sticking out of it. Okay, yeah, hard to really get a feel for this piece. It seems like I like what they got in the flower. At least they're shading things. We have dark down here, a little bit of a fade out, a little dark, a little fade out. So I think I have a general idea of their shading. I think it needs a little bit more help here and there, but I'm going to jump to the next one, Andy, because I think this one was the best one of the bunch. Yeah.
The actual beak, the eye, and the top half of the feathers, the head, I think is quite nicely captured.
Yeah.
With this, with a bit of the, shall we say, and again, it's got some like scratchy line work with a bit of whip shading, cum shading, and it's got some dark under beak and a bit what looks to be a bit of cross hatching. But then it's got that little bit of shading around the outside, and it seems to capture the head and the eye and everything really well on that. Where I do sort of like lose it a little bit is in all this breast feathers. I think they just look a little bit out of context with, you know, the quality of the head out of it.
Right. I agree. I think that it's a simple kind of piece, but it's not overly done. It's allowed to breathe. You know, we have definitely a flow of feathers and fur and whatnot. I think it's fine. Especially for, you know, what this person is doing, working on some fake skin, working some stuff out here. You know, we had a mix, a collage of things. Anonymous, I'd say definitely just keep at it. Send us our next batch of stuff, your next batch of 3 or your next piece next week or something. And maybe we can get a better understanding of where you're at. You know, is that a scratch? Is that a style you're doing? Or is that just maybe a lack thereof that we happen to just be like, oh, that's cool. You never know sometimes what you're getting yourself. Oh, Joey. Oh, gosh. All right, fine. Last one. Only because, oh, this isn't even the one you posted, man. Utter garbage. My God, we're just gonna critique anything here, Andy. Is that what we're doing?
That's it. I mean,
geez.
Some of the works we've seen tonight, and then you always get one that sends up absolute car crash, absolute train wreck.
And we have to end on this, right? Like, way to end.
That's it. I mean,
thanks, Joey.
You've got to end on this absolute piece of garbage.
Oh, Andy.
I mean, look at it. Man. I mean, I can't believe that. It's put them reds with them greens and that purple and pink. It's just horrendous, Joey. Why would you mix them colours together?
Yeah, he says used opaques. White is gray, like you old fellas. Well. No, obviously, Joey, it's a really nice piece, man.
Yeah,
really like it. The true grays. Ever since Andy, everybody's Andy. Joey switched over the true grays, even more so. The work is even smoother, you know what I mean? I think I'm gonna have to stop being stubborn and really full commit to them. I'm kind of in that in-between phase.
Stop being a pussy and get on.
I'm curious. So I have heard Andy's I better not. I gotta do my taxes tomorrow. I almost wrote all over my tax paperwork. Let me write this down. Okay. Andy, one more time. What size? This is for me. If anybody's watching, I'm educating myself today, right now.
Yeah,
so
you can ask me what
you know what I'm gonna ask you, but I also, before I ask you that, what do you use around the size 17 caps?
Yeah, I mean, you can either use a 17. I use 15s. So
okay, so we're pretty close. It's not.
Yeah, there's next to no. Yeah. So I use full black.
Yeah, and so 100% first.
Yeah,
cap.
And then I used to set 3 other tones out, but I've actually started setting 4 out now.
Good. I like that. I would have done the same thing. I like.
Yeah, so I set 4 more tones out.
So I know they're all white filled in each one.
Yeah, fill them all white. And then what I've started doing now is and I've just tweaked my last one. I do 22 drops of black.
I
do 11 drops of black.
Yep.
I do a 5.
Yeah.
And a 2.
Yeah. Hey, that's getting up. All right, now I want to hear Joey, what's your formula, bud? if you don't mind sharing.
He uses 6.
Oh, I like that too. Because I tried to go backwards and then I ended up
Oh,
going
he uses
forward.
6 caps.
Yeah.
Well, I use 5 altogether. Joey, you using 6 caps altogether?
Andy, you need to use 7 now. Just one up.
No,
just put out like 2 more, put nothing in them.
no.
He uses a no drop system. What are you using then? What are you doing?
Are you using like a whitewash?
Delay on the from the
Yeah, he might be using a pre-mixed.
Oh man, what weak sauce? Never mind. You're back to being a troll again, Joey. You be coming in here with that. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm just giving you a hard time now. Full black. 3, 4, 1, 2, or is that 3/4?
No, 3/4, half a cap and a quarter, and then 2 drops and 1 drop.
Okay. All right. Let me write this down again. 3/4, half. Okay, I see what he means by no drop system. He's like just kind of an eyeball thing. 3/4, half, quarter, and then 2 drop, 1 drop. Okay.
But what I will say to you, Dave,
what size caps? Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter what size.
No.
I see how that's a nice thing about that. What real quick, Andy, I know, hold your thought for just a moment so I can finish it. So you're putting 3/4 of the way black, 1/2 a cap of black, quarter cap of black. Okay, so your darks are actually quite dark. But then again, it's hard to say what 22 and 11. Actually, 11 drops usually brings me to, it's about quarter. Okay, I'm done. Sorry, Andy, I had to talk to myself.
No. The thing is, we're using opaque grey. Dave.
Yeah.
You can set all you can put all your drops out like you have, and then when you've put them all and you've mixed them all, right?
You can add
you can add, if you think that they're pretty close, because that's how they're going to go in the skin, and that's the colours they're going to end up.
Right.
If you think they're pretty close, either add a bit more black to one, or add a bit more white. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So, and you can do it that way, no problem. You can adjust it slightly for each piece if you want.
Because I do make some true grays for some color pieces where I just want like a gray, and so I'll mix those up. But I'm not getting any science to it. I'm just adding black to the white cap until it gets dark enough to what I'm looking for. So I could see definitely just going, all right, well, I think I'm going to end up with 25 drops and 14, and then you just work your own system out.
Yeah.
I like that. I think I might try to monkey with that.
You'll set them all out in a line, and if you've got a base to start from, and then you might think, well, no, I prefer that just a little bit darker, and so on and so forth. You just tweak them and just mix them up as to what you want, and you'll be fine. You'll need an ink that is thin, though. Too thick and it's hard to work with. I use dynamic black for my opaques and fusion white. Well, I use dynamic black and dynamic standard white.
I would be using dynamic black and star bright white because I really like that star. But I know in the UK it's hard to get that, so it's good to know that people can use that. Dynamic white is solid for that.
Yeah, I just use dynamic standard white. It's quite thin. It is that.
Then I might. I don't know. I don't know that star bright white is super thick. I might look into trying then just getting a white for mixing with my black for true grays. Maybe looking into just ordering like either like Joey had a fusion or like Andy, you're using dynamic white, true
dynamic
white?
Standard. I get dynamic standard white, Dave. Same size bottle as the black, and it would probably work out for you probably about $12 or $13.
That's cool. So
it's
you're okay. So you got the dynamic. I'm just writing notes next to each of you guys' stuff. Dynamic white and Joey. Is it just for you? It's just try fusion white, Dave. It doesn't dry. Oh wow, that's nice to know too. Is it just standard fusion? Is that just fusion white over there, Joey? Is it like standard white fusion? All these brands have some special name next to like 5 different whites. So now it's just like a Q&A amongst us in the chat. I don't even care who's watching right now. We're done. This was Joey's. Was the last tattoo we were looking at. Standard. Okay, so just like a standard. All right, cool, man. It sounds like both of you guys are using a standard white,
Yeah.
dynamic standard white, and
It
fusion.
doesn't need to be your white. Doesn't need to be anything special, Dave.
Okay, just something thin.
Yeah.
Something relatively thin. I imagine I've always liked using dynamic because it's a bit of a thinner black. It's less fuss getting into the skin. So obviously mixing that with a thin, relatively thin white would be nice. Yeah, I think I want to try it out. That way I've gone full circle from gray wash to like a white wash, I suppose you could call it, adding white to your gray wash and water, and then now to a full opaque, and then having all those tools in the arsenal to play with would be really cool. You have to use a mixing machine. I use a little. Yeah, those things are cheap,
couple of dollars.
Great to have. I actually just had to order a bunch more little tips for
sticks.
Yeah. It always clients are always hearing me because I bring it right up to the side of the caps, and it's like every time they're looking over like, what the heck is going on, man? Unless they've been there before, then they know what's up. But yeah, good stuff, man.
I mean, that's all right. You're doing that. I mean, you're mixing them. You're on about that. A client looking over. Our one's finishing the tattoo off, and when you're putting white in like that, and I go backwards and forwards, ink cap. And at that point, have you seen the ink caps that are slightly tapered? They've got a lip on the top.
Oh,
right. They have the lip on the top instead of a bigger lip on the base.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, you see that back.
And I was going backwards and forwards. And as I went across to cap of white, I missed the cap and he hit the side of it as the machine were running. The cap spun up into air like that.
Oh no!
Cap spun up into air like that, and I was like, "Oh God!" I was like, "That were close." And I turned around, and the client were covered in white ink. I was like, "Oops, sorry, mate."
That's because that stuff's so hard to clean off of everything.
Yeah.
What a pain, man. Smoke. Still here, a bunch of chronics. Yeah, no, we were just talking about grays and true grays, and taking the opportunity to soak up information from anybody willing to share it, especially if it's something that I want to play with. And I think I'm ready to monkey around with some true grays since I've really enjoyed the gray work I've been using and doing. Why not try something new?
Does anybody know which inks don't use witch hazel? I didn't know that inks use witch hazel. A lot of inks use isopropyl alcohol.
Called opaques, not true grays. Okay.
But as I say, it's I don't know. I can't really answer that one. For witch inks, don't use witch hazel. Like I say, it's
I don't either. I have no idea. I don't know anything about the witch hazel stuff.
Dave's sideburns are true grays.
Well played, Joey. Well played. Yeah, I gotta change that lingo. I don't know. Maybe me and Andy made up the word true grays. I don't know where that came from, but we got to stop confusing the people and use the word opaques. So it's a politically correct thing to do. So true grade. We'll save those for hairy sideburns and
bits of flashes that are in my hair. That's true grey as well. You know what I mean?
That's right. It's classy.
Yeah, it's joys of being old.
Yeah.
Look at that, Dave. We were so close, but so far. 82 likes. We only needed there's 46 here. We only needed 18 more likes, and Dave were taking his hat off.
Close to the end, Andy, that if we hit 99, I would just accidentally end the stream.
Yeah, accidentally end the stream.
Accidentally end the stream. The button's right there. It takes no effort to be like 99 and click. Because this has been 3 hours and 38 minutes. The 100 was good for like the first up to 3 hours. After this, no one's getting the. We'll save it for next time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can't believe it. We nearly got there.
For sure.
But
boy, I guess that's gonna wrap it up for today. And again,
like I say, I'll try. Should try hook up sometime. See what we've got on during week, whether it's and that. Whoa, Jesus Christ, Dave, what you done there? Oh my God! Let me push that thing back.
I know we gotta go back to our potato camera quality.
Yeah,
it's still not the greatest on the stream, but it is much better than it has been.
Webcam, but yeah, catch up. Try get. Don't just even like you say, even if it's just an hour's worth of Q&A, or whatever, or just chatting crap at some point when we're free.
Yeah, yeah. We should call it the after hours chat or something like that.
Yeah,
like it's end of the day kind of thing. Yeah, and it'll be our 25 good buddies hanging out here. It's like the same 27, 25 at the end of a long stream like today.
Yeah,
almost 4 hours. The 25 people are like, are you guys done yet? Like, gee, you've been there 3 hours before. We just finished critiquing everybody's, and it usually takes 10 minutes at a minimum to BS and get the heck out of here. Plus I was taking notes about opaque grays.
Yeah.
So
I'll try and do, Dave, and try and sort that. I'll mess around with that software and try to shoot you a link at some point.
Yeah.
Some point in the week, and probably put us on my channel and just chat shit. And any questions, anybody that decides to find their way over, and we'll just chat crap over there.
Yeah, really read the chat.
Yeah.
BS, like whatnot. But all right, cool. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all hanging out here. I'm glad we were able to get to everybody's work. And I appreciate you guys being lively in the chat and hanging out with us. And again, thank you to Andy for taking the time being here. No problem. It's definitely, as you know, it's nowhere near as fun when you're by yourself talking to a camera, because it's just like you feel like you have to fill space constantly. And but you're all alone. You're all alone in the room with the camera, and you have to talk to that camera and assume people give a dang about what you have to say.
Yeah, that was worst thing. That was worst thing on Thursday when I ended up going live, and you're there on your own. It's like, wow, this is so much harder when you're on your own. Than when there's two of you, just to bounce off, even on screen. And I know chat, there were a few people in chat, and obviously yourself really active in chat, which helps so much. But
yeah.
When there's two of you here and you're actually talking backwards and forwards, it's so much easier. It's like you say, you can just go, well, what do you think? Pass it over to you now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, half the chat I was booking appointments and replying to comments and stuff. So it was nice to be able to multitask and not have to put everything off for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
But still kind of be present. So nonetheless, guys, again, thank you for being here. We will see you sometime during the week, but you got to go over to Andy's channel because we're going to be doing impromptu BS chat over there sometime this week. That is _tattoo_studio. Again, _tattoo_studio. Go over there.
We'll be there at some point this week.
Heck yeah. Until then, guys.
Yep.
Peace out.
Take care.